ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 82 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. The date today is Monday, August the 10th, 2020, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Dave McRae from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. This is going to be a good one tonight. We are watching the original Carrie from 1976, directed by Brian De Palma. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Tony, I am really excited to watch this movie with you. We talked about it about a year or so ago, and now we are going to watch it together.
Yeah, baby.
Classic 1976, based
One
on
of my
the
favorite
first
novels.
Yes, and based on the first novel by Stephen King, the legendary Stephen King.
It's by far, King's got so many, but it was one of the first King novels that I read, and I've got the first edition of it here. So sentimental. I mean, you know, it's obviously, but it's like one of those books that like you got to commit yourself to like 9 months to read that shit.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? For anyone who's
totally true.
But the one thing I will say about the novelization in the movie, it's one of the few times where what you read is what you're going to watch. It literally beat for fucking beat. And you don't see that too often for a novel adaptation to film.
That's true. That
Have
is
you read
very
the novel?
true. I have not read the novel. No, I have not. But obviously, this being Stephen King's entry into our world. I mean, this was the first novel he released.
1974, I think,
something like that, yeah. And obviously, he went on to become the legend that he is now. So,
not too shabby of a story to start off with.
Not too shabby at all. And you know,
1974. Yeah, that's what. All right.
Cool. You know,
we weren't even sperm yet.
No, we weren't. Stephen King novels are, sorry, no, I was going to say the adaptation from book to movie has not always been the kindest to Stephen King stories. There are some really good ones and there are some pretty bad ones. This happens to be a very good one, but you also had a very good director and team behind it. So,
with De Palma, yeah.
Right, exactly. So that
and you had a pretty studied cast in here too. You had Sissy Spacek, John Travolta's in this.
PJ Souls,
the greatest American hero, William Catt. You know,
right.
I actually just started rewatching that show again. I literally just because I was spinning this like '80s old school. Like I'd finished Married with Children here recently, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched Greatest American Hero in a long time, so I just started popping that shit in. And
that's amazing.
Fucking love that theme too.
Whenever I see him, I think of House. That's
yeah.
That's sort of my, like when I look at him, I don't think House immediately. Him and George Wendt, you know. Well, no, George Wendt I think of Cheers, obviously, but when I think of William Catt, I think of him and George Wendt in House, you know. But yeah, and so this is going to be good. This is going to be a fun one tonight. Just a reminder, of course, to everybody that the It's Me Billy campaign is live. There's just over 3 weeks left to go in the campaign, and
how close are we?
We are pretty close. I just realized that, well, we're not. I mean, hang on a sec here. I just realized that I didn't have what I wanted to have in the, let me just get something here. It's because I had to redo the live makeup today and I forgot to put it in there. So let me just put this in there so people can see it there, which is the link to the Indiegogo campaign. 1 second. There we are. Just putting it in the description. There we go. It should be in the description now. So we are sitting at just over close to 41,000 Canadian with like I said, just over 3 weeks left to go. It would be great if we can get as close as we possibly can to 50,000. That would be amazing. I still have to add, of course, the about $2,000 from the It's Me Billy-a-thon to the total. So that is still to come, of course. But yeah, and then Bruce and I at some point this month are probably going to do another a-thon, maybe not quite 5 hours, but we'll probably do another one. And then, of course, you and I are doing a double feature at the end of the month. And yeah, and all the super chats raised from that will go to the campaign as well. So let me just put the campaign link in the... 1 second here. I had it. There we are. I'll put it in the chat room. There it is. There it is. So that is the link to the campaign, the Indiegogo campaign. It's just a reminder. You'll be hearing about it a lot over these last 3 weeks because we're in the home stretch now. So again, anything you guys can help to contribute is amazing. There's still a lot of perks left. Of course, you can donate as well. You don't have to buy a perk if you're not interested. Some people don't like stuff. I have actually had... Believe it or not, I actually have had several people donate because they don't want a perk. Not because they don't see anything they like. They're just not a stuffs person. They don't like collecting stuff, but they want to help out with the campaign. So they donate.
Minimalist.
Minimalists. There you go. Yeah, exactly. So I have had a few people do that, which is great. So you can donate to the campaign as well if you want to do that. So again, anything you can do is greatly appreciated. It's all going to go towards the production of It's Me, Billy. We're super excited about it. This is a high production value fan film that we are very excited about. So I just wanted to send that little reminder. I'll probably remind everybody again towards the end of the show when we're in the Q&A. But yes, very exciting indeed. Tony, should we get this movie underway?
Fuck yeah. This is one of my favorite horror movies. This, unfortunately, you know, like, I would love for it to be in my top 10, but it's resting at a number 11. It was in my top 10 forever until The Conjuring came out. And, well, I just fell in love with The Conjuring. And, yeah, it traded with Carrie. But I still love this movie.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Here we go.
Here we go.
Tony and I are watching. I have the Metro Goldwyn Mayer
Lion's
logo
doing
on the
his
screen. Lion's doing his roar. That's where we are paused. And we'll give timestamps throughout.
Yes,
Here
sir.
we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Yes. Here we go.
A lot of religious symbolisms in this movie too, and I know you're a fan of. You like that type of stuff.
Oh, I do. Well, I mean, even I mentioned
beyond
this,
just the supernatural. Well, I don't know if we call her supernatural. I mean, she's not really
I think so.
supernatural.
I think so.
Right.
I think so. But what's fascinating about this, and I talked about this. Here's a great example. I talked about this a year ago when we talked about this film. We didn't watch it like we're doing now, but of course, we talked about it. Yeah. The scene where Sissy Spacek is in the shower, right?
Oh,
and she's,
man.
And she's, washing herself and all that. And the way it's
female
shot,
moment. Yeah.
Right. But what's interesting is that the way it's shot is that I can see somebody who's, I could see the scene being perceived as erotic and sexual because of how slow she's moving. I believe it's slow motion, or at least the way it looks. She's like, in reality, she's probably just doing this and she's doing this, but the way it's shot, it's a metamorphosis. It's a changing, right? Because what happens at the end of that scene is she has her period, and Carrie doesn't know. Yeah, that's it right here. Yeah. It's slow motion, right?
I'd just like to thank Brian De Palma for the naked women slow motion. Just thanks, buddy. I mean, I much appreciate it.
But what's interesting here, though, is that because we watch this, like, what we are seeing here is we're seeing a lot of women, a lot of young, not women, but, young teenage girls, right? 16, 17, 18, whatever it is, high school girls who have more than likely already become a quote unquote woman, so to speak, in terms of biologically, in terms of, having their periods and things like that. And Carrie has not had her period yet. So the camera moves in on her, and you could get the impression that she is, I don't know, masturbating maybe to some degree, but that's not what's going on. It's just the slow motion of the movements as she's in the shower, but it's a metamorphosis. We're seeing her change metaphorically from a girl to a woman, right? So we see the eroticism of the elegance of the female body, in the woman, and we see that transformation. And then of course at the end of that, she gets her period, and the transformation, you know, is beginning. And it's a great tracking shot here, you know, moving. She's isolated. She's alone.
Obviously, they steamed it up a lot, you know.
Yes. Oh,
but it
for
creates
sure.
it creates the mood, and
exactly.
Right now we think everything is peaceful and calm and it's good.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you had that one blip in the moment where she misses the volleyball and Souls bops her off the head, but for the most part, it seems like we're cool, you know, we're calm until it's flip really.
And
quickly,
when you look at her here with the soap on her face, and like if this
very
wasn't
erotic. I mean, yeah,
100%, but if this wasn't slow motion, she'd be like, now she's touching her breasts, right? But if this wasn't slow motion, she'd be more going like, you know, like this, right? She'd be doing this. That's what's actually happening in reality, is she's touching herself like you would if you were really in the shower. But you slow that down and all of a sudden it becomes very sensual and very erotic because we're watching this transformation into womanhood. You know what I mean?
Which is weird because, I mean, she has breasts, so I would assume she would have already had her period, right? And I mean, again, I'm not a woman, so I don't know how all that works for women.
It's probably because of the trauma, the emotional and psychological trauma that she has faced through her life because of her mother. It's probably been stinted. You know, there are a lot of we do know that that women can experience a delay in their periods just by stress. You know, so that could be what has happened here.
Okay.
Yeah, would be my guess. And of course, maybe some sort of unusual supernatural thing that's in her. Who knows, right? Not an entity, but of course.
That's true. That is true.
Her powers, right? But right now, you see, she doesn't know what this is. She sees the blood from the period.
The supernatural power thing, I didn't think of that. That could have stinted her from actually having her period. That she could have developed herself and not gone through the period part because of the supernatural power she does possess. So I didn't even think of it like that.
That's right. And she doesn't know what this is because her mother would never have told her that. Her mother is, you know, wants to keep her, you know, wants to keep that control over her, right? You know what I mean? And so she probably doesn't, she has no idea what this is, and she's freaking out, and she's weird anyway. So the kids can be cruel, and that's what they're doing. And they know what's happened here. They know exactly what's happened as she's backing up here and she's screaming, and, you know, PJ Souls is laughing and everybody's laughing, and look at her face. I mean, she's just petrified and terrified. It's frightening for her. And it's just,
there's no way they could do this in films today.
They probably
this type of bullying. No.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, there'd be a lot of backlash for it. Darren's right. She was 27 when this was shot. Yes, she was.
And she looks like a teenager, though. I believe it. Yeah, I totally believe it.
I believe it too. She had a very small frame, small body. Yeah, she definitely looks like she's playing. I can totally buy it. You see, they're already probably 16, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that range here. You know?
Well, of course, this was the 70s and the 80s where they were casting, you know, early to mid 20-year-olds to play teenagers. That was a very common thing. You know, when PJ Souls and Nancy Loomis did Halloween, I mean, they're definitely in their mid 20s. I think Nancy Loomis is like 26, right? When she does Halloween?
She's definitely in her 20s.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and they're playing teenage girls, but that was, again, a common thing. Whereas nowadays they're making it more realistic. They're casting teenagers for teenage roles.
Yes. And but what a great opening! Like again, I mean, it's you know, it looks very erotic, but she's not touching herself in that way. It's just the slow motion of it. We're seeing a transformation happen, and it frightens her to no end. And she's petrified, and she's doing a great job because she doesn't understand, because she's been sheltered. She's been, it's been suppressed. She's been emotionally and psychologically abused by her mother, and she doesn't, and she has these powers that she doesn't fully understand. She's a freak, you know, for all intents and purposes, right? And what a tragic story, really, at the end of the day. It's a very tragic, sad story. It's brilliant, but it's tragic. We're at the scene here now where...
Do you know where he was inspired by to write the story?
I don't off the top of my head. There must have been some sort of inspiration. But
I wonder if it was anything personal because, you know, the bullying and whatnot. I wonder if it's something that King maybe himself went through, and maybe this is him, but a female version of him.
Yeah. Who knows? We're at the scene here where Carrie is in the office here, and the coach is there, and I believe that's the principal. It's about timestamp is 7 minutes 36 seconds. Yeah, what a and the mother is so.
Oh, that's
cool.
right. And the gym teacher smoking it. I remember that. When we were young enough, our teachers did smoking in the school in the early 80s when we were in
there was a smoking room.
They smoked in the freaking offices in our school.
Did they really?
They smoked in the offices in our school.
Wow.
It was about like late 80s is when they put a stop to that.
Yeah.
And then they had the teachers smoking room, and then you had to go outside, and that was that.
Right.
But I remember seeing my teachers and principals smoking in the office.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I know, and of course it's making the coach uncomfortable, or the principal. I mean, and I love how because she doesn't understand at all.
Juggling or not juggling, but slightly moving the ashtray.
The ashtray. That's right. Yeah. Would you like to go to the infirmary and lie down for a while? I don't know. Dude, I bought some NES games the other day in a console. I've been playing Super Mario 1, 2, and 3 the last day.
Would you get an NES console?
No, I got a one of those new consoles that can play the games. Yeah,
that's what I have. Is a Retron 5. It plays NES, Genesis,
I was
Super Nintendo, and Game Boy games.
I just have the Retron 2.
Okay.
And because I went in and I was going to get the NES, but then of course it's hard to hook up to modern TVs and all that kind of shit, and you got to get adapters and shit. So the guy was like, "Well, just get the Retron. It plays both the NES and the Super
California?
NES."
Because it totally looks like.
Oh yes, for sure, it's shot in California.
Like Haddonfield.
Well, it looks right? Very similar.
You're seeing like the streets lined up, or the trees lined up along the roads here and the sidewalk and stuff. Like that's not very common. You don't see that in too many places. Even the houses, you can get the sense that it looks like it's somewhere in that area.
It's probably California. I'd have to double check. But yeah, no, my intention was to get like an NES, but I was like, and you gotta, I know it's possible to hook it up to HD TVs, and I know that is, of course, but the guy sold me on the Retron. He's like, you can play both Super Nintendo and Nintendo on this. And I was like, that's great, because my girlfriend wanted a Super Nintendo game. And I was like, I want a couple of Nintendo games. So worked great. So hooked it up and had no issues. There's a little, like there's some minor differences, obviously, because it's not, built like some of the colors off and like a couple of the things, but I mean, it's perfect. Like it's exactly what we needed to, quench the nostalgia thirst, so to speak. It's been fun. This actress played this role so. Oh yes, it's been so great. She's such a
totally plays that Westboro Baptist religion person.
Yes,
very well.
She could play. That's right. The West Phelps, right?
Something
Phelps,
like that,
is that it? The Phelps, the Westboro Baptist Church, Phelps, something like that.
Yeah. I've ran into a few people like that in my journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real radicals, the extreme Christian people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same here. Not as much as you probably get down there, but
especially in my area, man. I'm in the Bible Belt.
That's what I was just gonna say. Exactly. You're like the first hole in the belt of the Bible Belt, or maybe that would be like Mississippi. Maybe I don't know, but Virginia.
Austin from Boston. Our timestamp is I've got 11:50 and 1, 2. Where are you at, Dave?
11, same.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the exact same. Yeah. So basically 12 minutes into the movie, the mother here is talking to, who's this again? Came over? Anyway, I can't remember. This is so great. Yeah, this mother is wretched. And this mother is like the control that she has over Carrie is, it's like, I think I said this last year when we talked about this as well, is that realistically, because of the and I love this dreamlike hue that they put over some of the shots.
Wasn't that a common thing though? Because I remember seeing that in House and a lot of other films where you had that dreamlike mist during daylight shots. Wasn't that a common thing back then?
Well,
with films,
it not in every movie, obviously, but certainly it was used. It was used in Elm Street as well.
That's right, it was.
But this is,
but yeah.
And
also that's the debate and argument of the first scene when you see Nancy and the four of them driving up to the school. It's like that. It's like that. But then people make the argument that that's actually really the dream, that the dream for Nancy's begun.
Right. It quickly switches, but you're right. The only thing I would say about this is that if this was real life, I don't think Carrie would have made it to high school. I think the mother wouldn't have, because the mother doesn't want to lose the control, and that's what she begins to lose that control when kids go off to high school, because they become more independent potentially, and they have more influence from other kids and things like that, and they're more likely to rebel because of that, because they have other outside influence. I think it works fine for the film. I mean, there's nothing, I mean, it could be perceived as a nitpick, but I would say that in reality, she probably would have been kept home, and she would have been homeschooled or whatever by the time she got to like high school age, like, was it 13 or whatever, 14? Because the mother is obsessed with keeping the control, because it's all she has. She's a terrible mother. Why didn't you tell me, Mama? Yeah, exactly. So she's physically abused too. She's emotionally abused, physically abused, psychologically abused. Yeah, I could totally believe she's like 16. Totally buy that. And she's
in this,
30.
I would say she looks more like in that 17, 18. She's got a very youthful face.
She does. But I mean, it's all in the same, but yeah, like 16, 17, 8, like totally. Yeah. I could totally believe that she's 10 years younger than she really is.
Even her mannerisms are of a teenager. She's not acting like a mid-20-year-old woman, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, she's done well. I
think she was nominated, right, for this role?
I don't know. Chat room can let us know if
she was, or was the mother. Somebody was nominated from this movie.
Okay. See, she's like, you should have told me, Mama. You should have told me. And she didn't want to do that because the mother knew that it was bound to happen, but she was probably praying to Jesus and God for it not to happen, because the mother doesn't want her to grow up. She doesn't want her to become a woman. She doesn't want to lose that control.
Yeah, I mean, between the mom and Sissy Spacek, I mean, Sissy obviously just her performance is, to me, in my opinion,
fantastic.
It's one of the best performances in a horror movie.
It's great.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, her performance is so hard to top.
Oh yeah, yeah. Donald Russell says Sissy was nominated for Carrie. Well, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
She was great. And look at this. She shoves her in this little room. Again, this is all about control. The mother having control, because the mother doesn't have anything else. And obviously it runs deeper than that. I'm simplifying it, a lot. Of course, there's the Jesus statue, and yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Creepy Jesus statue.
I should get that. And
I was going to say the same thing. I said, I need to get me one of those. There somewhere.
Yes.
We're fucked up. I'm telling you, like, if they ever walked around like the actual my home and whatnot, I think people would be more freaked out if they ever broke in here, because like the skulls and stuff that I have like on display.
Oh yeah, same.
Very dark, and people probably, if anyone broke in here, they'd be like, "You get the fuck out of here."
That's
man.
right. That's right. That's it. And when you're a child that is living like that, you begin to naturally learn what sets her off.
Yeah.
And if you are
like the hair twirling thing, very teenager like.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not saying adult women don't do that, but just it's how she's doing it.
Right.
You know, like it's just those conscious
Well,
things.
there's a vulnerability.
As an actress, it's exactly that's what I was just about to say. It's a
Yeah.
vulnerability.
That's right. Yeah, you're bang on.
Those
Tony.
little things, man, really just it sells to the performance.
Watch the mirror warp here. This is such a sorry,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's such a great effect. And Jesus in the corner up there, which is nice. Look at that. I love that. I love that little warp.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Little teaser.
Yeah. I love that. Creepy as fuck.
Love to know how they did that.
Yeah.
Because I know that's practical. The very
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd love to know how they did that and got it to bend like that and get it to go really fast before it finally busted.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's real glass. It's got to be something that looks like glass, but it isn't quite real glass.
Right.
Because there's no way you can do that to. I mean, could you? I don't know. Can you do that to real glass?
I think. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Might depend on the glass.
I mean, I guess if you heat it up, right?
Right.
But to warp like that, get it all like.
Yeah.
Exactly. That timestamp I've got is 1850.
But Carrie's not like the character here. She's not stupid, and she knows what sets her. She's beginning to learn, obviously, still.
Her powers, yeah.
Right, her powers, and what sets her mother off. She knows how to manipulate, like what to do and what not to do, and how to work within the confines of your, isolation and. But the fact that her mother lets her go to school, I think in reality that probably would never happen if this was a real story, because the mother wouldn't want to relinquish potential outside influence.
Right.
So Carrie would become a hermit, a recluse. She'd be that crazy mom and her daughter that live down the street, and you never see the daughter, and all that kind of stuff. It'd be more likely that way.
Yeah, there he is.
Look at this hair.
Every time
Look at this hair.
Though, man, that's some curly hair.
I'm growing my hair out like this.
Smiling because he knows I played his theme song.
Yes, he does. Yes, exactly. I'm growing my hair out.
I will say, as far as wardrobe goes, they did a great job with PJ Scholes because Halloween and this film are only about 2 years apart. But what makes PJ look so young here, it's the pigtails, it's the hat, it's the coveralls that she's wearing, and
right.
And that goes to the costume and costume designer for the film to make her look like a high school kid, because in Halloween, she does look like a young woman, a young adult. She doesn't look like a teenager.
No. And same with Annie.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
They don't.
Jamie Lee's the only one who looks like a teenager in that.
Exactly. When I showed my girlfriend Halloween for the first time years ago, she said the same thing. She was like, Linda and Annie don't look like teenagers. And I'm like, yeah, because they're not.
But here, which is, again, only 2 years apart, she does. And it goes to the, the way they dressed her in the film to make her
sure. I was just gonna say, yes, it's the pigtails, it's the baseball cap. They cuteanized her more. It's funny how this doesn't even look like they're in the same shot. It's an interesting shot because the right side of his hair is blurred, but his face is, but yet the people behind him are not blurry. It's almost like there's an optical effect there. That's interesting.
That's weird, because that shouldn't be doing that.
No, because
I think it is a composited shot, because there's no way if you with any lens, if you've got William Catt in focus and then Carrie's behind him like that, she would be out of focus.
She would be out of focus, right?
So it's probably a composited shot.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's cool, but yeah.
It is.
I don't understand why you would even need to composite that shot.
To get her reaction and his reaction. To show like a foreshadowing of their relationship.
Oh yeah. The shot, but why would you need to composite it? You can just have him in the foreground
and pull focus, or
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, calm down, bitch. No. Jesus. Look at these. Look at this. Is so great. What else is she in, Chris? That's ADR. Just get it out of your mouth. That was ADR. I could tell. It was a different environment. But they did a good job of it. I've seen Chris in something else. I've seen Chris in...
She looks familiar, and I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
RoboCop.
That's it. Charlie McGrath going hard into the paint. That's it. Yeah, she's the main girl in RoboCop. Thank you. That's it. Totally. And RoboCop was like, what, 12 years later, I think?
Zach, does anyone like the remake? Carrie remake? I have not seen that. That's with what's her name?
Nor have I.
No.
Is that Carrie the Rage or something?
No, Carrie the Rage, I've seen that. That's like supposed to be the sequel to this. No, the one with what's her name there? Zoe or something like that. The blonde chick actress, Chloe Moretz or something like that. Right? Isn't that her name?
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Chloe Moretz. She did the remake of Carrie. I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen Rage either.
I've seen Rage. Actually, the girl in Rage was real fine. She was really attractive. She got that dark curly hair.
That came out in what, like 99 or something? 98?
Yeah, around when H2O came out.
Yes.
Like in that run of that late 90s film.
Yeah. Look at PJ Soul's bangs.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
Again, that's what makes her look so young.
100%. She's got like
little bangs that are coming up the hair.
I think I'm gonna get a haircut like PJ Soul's bangs.
There you go. You totally should get the little details and shit.
Exactly.
Well, you would have more than Nancy Loomis because you got curly hair.
That's true. Yes, I could. I did more.
Actually, you probably could do a William Cat thing, man, if you grew it out.
I think I could. Yeah, it took a while, but I could do it. Crazy. You should see my curly hair when it gets fucking long. It's insane.
I miss being able to grow my hair out.
Yeah, I noticed, as I said, you shaved your beard. You shaved your beard.
Yeah, I just did the humidity and all that bullshit. I got tired.
I gotcha.
Doing this on my run every 2 seconds, scratching my neck from sweating so much.
I hear you.
So I just like gone. And finally, my barber got his. He passed like some CDC test for COVID.
Okay.
So that he could start cutting again. So that's why I hadn't cut my hair for so long, and which really aggravated me because I got the receding up here. I got the big old bald spot up there. And
right.
That's why I keep it so short. And he passed on Friday. So I was like, dude, Sunday, I was like, you are cutting this shit off.
Yes. Yeah. No, it looks good. You got a good head for it. Not everybody has I wasn't going to be one of those guys in his 40s with the circle up here and I understand
up here and like trying to hang on to it. It's like, fuck that. Goodbye.
But not everybody has the head shape for it. Like not everybody looks good bald. You know, you look good bald. You got a good egg. What's that?
Stone cold sun.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, William, I need to get some clippers. You got any suggestions? Type them up. I'll write down the brand name.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We are. I love this music too. We're 26 minutes 24 seconds.
Music that's playing.
Oh, it's great stuff. PJ Soul
PJ
her sit-ups. Yep.
It's funny because I see her in this, but I also see like glimpses of Linda at the same time. You know what I mean? Just like certain facial expressions 100%. And things that she does.
That's just it. It's only 2 years before. So, yeah.
She was in a lot of horror films, man.
She was. The old library card catalog.
The card catalog.
I remember doing that. I remember taking...
Dewey Decimal System or Dewey something, whatever.
Something like that. I remember taking cards out.
What was it called again?
It was something like that. I think you're right.
That's what it was called.
I remember taking cards out and writing stupid shit on them and then putting them back.
Yes, I totally did that shit too.
But like, you know, you're such a kid, right? Like you take it out and you write like penis.
Yeah.
And then you put it back. So juvenile, you know, it's penis. See, that shot looks composited too, right there. The coach in the foreground and them in the background. Watch it if they show it again. Oh, wait, hang on. She's walking up. Is she going to enter frame? No, they didn't. They cut it before. I think that might have been I think that might have. Okay, that's not.
What, the smack?
No, I'm not there yet. Here comes the smack. There we go. Maybe it's just the lighting.
Tell me when she says we all stick together.
All right, hang on.
She said Helen.
Now, yeah.
Sue's hot. What's that actress's name? Dark curly hair who plays Sue?
I don't know. Oh, it's over. You're going to meet fucking RoboCop in 10 years. It's over, bitch. You're going to become a Detroit police officer. What's that?
Nice ass, though.
There it is, folks. Had to get it in there.
That's what she said.
I walked into that one.
It did.
I did. I totally walked into that one. Yeah, that was definitely.
Zach, Night of the Living Dead remake.
I set you up and you hit it out of the park.
It's all right. The remake of Night of the Living Dead, not bad. I mean, I don't hate it.
I don't think. What one? The one the
90,
early.
the 90 remake.
Oh, I've never saw it.
It's all right.
Telekinesis.
Do you believe in telekinesis? That's the question Jason Wiley's asking. I mean, it would be cool doing some Charles Xavier shit now, and it's not working.
Yeah,
Oh man, too bad I didn't know any guys who were big enough. I could have do like a Lex Luthor Superman photo shoot.
I'd say that. Do I believe in telekinesis? I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I think that it's just such a. Do you believe in I don't even know what that means. I mean,
do you think someone has the ability to do?
Yeah, no, I know what it. Yeah, I know what it means. But I guess as I get older, I start to critically think more, and rather than just say yes, no, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's
there. He is.
Maybe.
Welcome back, Carter. That was about right around when he was doing that, right? That show.
Something like that. Isn't this where he gets the blowjob? Or is that later? Is this where he gets the blowjob?
I think so.
Okay, what's funny about this is that when she goes down on him, you can still hear her talking like as if nothing's going on. And it's like, there's no way you could talk with a mouthful of John Travolta. I'm just saying.
I love the cars.
Mouthful of John Travolta.
Stang, I forget what Travolta's driving. The Stang that the guys rolled up next to him.
Yeah.
The cars in this film are great. This Vini Barberini, Reno, whatever his name is.
Sandy. What are you doing?
Was this before or after Grease? Or right around Grease?
Before Grease.
Before Grease.
I think Grease was 78, I think. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think. But yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I think it is. And you know what she's doing because, you know, of his reaction. But there's no way she could talk like that. Wait till it's so funny. Yeah. Woo! Whoop, 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 woo. Yeah. John Travolta.
Sandy.
That was sad. His wife died just last month or whatever. She wasn't very old.
And you definitely will not see that in movies anymore. Dude smacking a girl like that?
No, you won't. No.
I mean, unless it fits the narrative of the story, like Revolutionary Road.
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But something just like that, like a candid moment, no.
That's right.
He's driving an SS. I was wondering what car Travolta was driving.
Oh, here it. Oh no, I guess it happens later. Okay, it happens later. I'll mention it when it happens again.
Are they watching John Wayne in the background?
Like that. His fucking hair is so epic it looks like a wig. Like it doesn't even look real. It doesn't even look real. It's so funny. Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, James Gardner. Okay. I love it when, I don't know what film they're watching, but I love it when movies do that. Like, you know, Wes did that with Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, when you throw little Easter eggs in there, like Carpenter did with Halloween and The Thing from Outer Space. I think it happens now.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is when it happens. All right. Now when she goes down on him, you know what she's doing. You know what she's doing, but she continues to talk like there's nothing going on. And I just don't think it's possible.
Travolta's got a mad mullet going.
It's an amazing mullet.
And this is before mullets were even a thing, man.
Yeah,
this is like
true.
70s. Mullets weren't really a thing.
Here it comes. No pun intended. What you doing? Come on.
It's cool, baby. Rockin' and rollin'.
It's cool, baby. It's cool. Oh, she's being aggressive. She's being aggressive. What's wrong with you? She's got like the Farrah Fawcett hair going on.
She's been like, "Oh, bite the weenie," and she
literally looks like she just like stepped up. Yeah, yeah. Like she stepped off of Charlie's Angels set.
Well, that was for women. That was very popular back then.
Yes, it was. Yes. Yeah. No, you're bang on.
And he smacked her again.
Oh, you would never see that.
Way, not today.
No.
That's it. You totally fucked up.
Should, you know, in a candid moment or even in a disagreement, I don't think you should. But
no, not at all. Of course not. Nobody should hit anybody. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's because you are defending yourself because somebody's coming at you with a knife or a gun trying to murder you. Nobody should hit anybody. Men shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. I mean, it just, you know, if you're defending yourself, trying to get away from a potentially death, well, yeah, of course. But in an argument or something, nobody should be hitting anybody.
Very true. This is how weak-minded we are as men. We could be pissed off at you for one moment, but then you start doing this, yeah, we change our mind.
It's true. Okay, now look. Now you know what she's doing.
And she's talking, Billy.
Listen.
And she's talking about Carrie White. He's like, who?
There's no way. There's no way. Guys. Men, you know there's no way, men. Come on now.
Is what she's saying is Travolta short stacking it?
Right. No, what she's saying is go make a donation to the It's Me Billy campaign.
Exactly.
Billy, go make a donation to the It's Me Billy campaign. Link in the description. Help bring Billy back. That's, if you listen carefully, you actually hear her say, Billy, help bring Billy back. That's what you hear. It's amazing. It really is amazing. I don't know how they did it.
Being like, you know, this isn't being rhetorical, but I'm being serious because with technology and computers, do schools even have library, like books in libraries anymore? Or have they gone all digital?
No, I believe they still have libraries, I think. I don't know, though. I haven't been in a school in a long time.
Do they have books in the libraries now, or is everything digital?
No, I think they'd still have books. I would imagine they'd still have books.
Man, there's going to be a day when there are going to be no more like hard physicals.
It's pretty sad.
There will be a day.
Yep. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, I was craving Sunkiss. I grabbed it the other day. I hadn't had Sunkiss in a really long.
Sunkiss.
Yeah, Someone made a comment in the comment section.
Oh, okay.
This movie and video tonight, folks, is not sponsored by Sunkiss, by the way.
Two Dudes and Some Bullshit is brought to you by Sunkiss. Kiss the sun, or we'll kiss your ass. What does that even mean? Can you imagine if that was their slogan? Kiss the sun, or we'll kiss your ass. Like, what? I don't get it.
Although, you know what's funny? Someone came up to me in the grocery store because I took the mask down for a moment, my shopping COVID mask for just a split second.
Did somebody scream at you?
No. They're like, you look like Andre Agassi. I'm like,
I could see that a little bit.
What someone said, they're like, you look like for a moment, they did a double take. They thought I was Andre Agassi for a second. I
could see that a little bit.
Because I cleaned everything off.
Yes. I can see that a little bit. You actually should have said,
I am, but I don't sound like him. So
no, you don't. But that's why you speak minimally. So you play it up. You just lean in a little bit, and you look at them, and you go, "It's because I am," and then you just walk away. You walk away, and before they have time to like, "Why you're gone?" And if you speak lowly, then they're like, "Oh my God, I just fucking saw Andre Agassi at the store today."
Andre Agassi, man.
Yes.
Of course, I'm like a younger because he's like what? He's got to be a decade older than us, right? At least
he's got to be in his 50s at least. Yeah. I would think, anyway. Now, of course, the female coach here is being more of a mother figure to Carrie than, I mean, obviously it doesn't matter in the end because Carrie fucking loses it on everybody, but she's never had, she's never had this kind of attention. And it's very important for young girls. I mean, look, it's important to have both sexes in your lives in terms of your mother and father, but it's very important as girls are growing up that the mother is there in that way to teach them about, girl things and to be compassionate and understanding and to maybe, how to do your makeup, how to do this, how to do that, because, in a lot of cases, girls who don't have, a relationship with their parents or a bad mother, they got to learn that on their own, and it can be very hard for, a lot of young girls. And it's very nice when a motherly figure takes an interest, especially if you don't have it. Here comes Linda.
I'm just digging PJ's outfit, man.
I know. It's so great. It's so great.
I got to have a girl dressed like this on a Halloween shoot. I
thought you were just going to say on a date. I got to have a girl like this dressed at a date. Or a girl dressed like this at a date.
But I could definitely pull it off in a Halloween shoot because it fits the era.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Like a crossover.
But you're right, though. Even William Catt looks like he should be in like his third year of college.
He does. He really does.
You know what I mean? He looks like he's a substitute gym teacher. Or just a substitute teacher. Young teacher, fresh out of teaching college. Oh, that's right. They throw her a bone. Right. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good. We'll get to all your super chats, folks, at the end of the end of the movie when we go into the Q&A. So feel free to send any super chats in if you would like. We'll answer, a couple here from time to time, but we're trying to sort of make sure we focus on the movie. I'm trying to answer
some of the non-super chats as we go because we're going to definitely get you guys with the super chats at the end.
Exactly.
But Dave.
I gotta get a one for you on here.
What, that ass?
Yeah, exactly. That great ass. I'll just get Al Pacino. Great ass. Fuck you.
Timestamp Michael the Shape is 4134.
Yep. Yeah. Same.
Oh, this is when he. This is when he.
Look at that hazy dream-like hue over the picture. It's great. I literally thought that was a woman, and no, it's
just glowing with that hue over it.
Yeah, he's magnetic. He's radiant.
It looks like he belongs in a Levi commercial.
Yeah, it's
right
like
now.
a filter. It's a soft. I mean, it wouldn't be a filter. Obviously, it'd
a
be a
little
different
overexposed,
optic,
yeah.
Back then, but it's the way they. Yeah. Look at him going up because And he's not being truthful. He's essentially being told to do this. And, oh yeah, you wouldn't be, because you see, now he's a threat. He's a threat to the mother. He shouldn't be, but he is, because of the influence that now the mother doesn't know that he's actually faking this or being told to do this, and nor does Carrie. But if the mother sees him, I mean, she's going to lose her shit on Carrie, not because he's a threat to the mother, to taking Carrie away from the mother. The influence that you could have. That's why I think if this was a real story, I think she would have been homeschooled by the time she was 12. She plays this. She's fantastic in this movie. I totally believe Sissy's performance. Like, I mean, she really does look frightened and intimidated and scared at the potential of what could happen if she says yes. Man.
Of course, this is where they get the pig's blood, but of course we all know it's corn syrup.
That's right. Well, and you did an amazing photo shoot with this.
My concoction was it was a type of red paint that could easily come off, but it's not a true red. It's more of a lighter red mixed in with corn, a light corn syrup, not the dark corn syrup, but a light corn syrup with Hershey syrup, and just mixed it together. And that's where I was able to get that more realistic blood look for my Carrie shoot. But the nice thing with that combination, it comes off. I mean, that's the dress. That's my Carrie dress that I use for my shoot. And you don't see a single stain on there.
It's amazing.
Of blood, because that concoction, I don't know what it is between the paint, or it's non-stick paint, whatever it is. I have to grab it. It's over there.
Right.
Hershey syrup and the corn syrup all mixed together. Like I said, it literally came right off when I washed it, and I took it to the cleaners and
very cool.
Press it up. And then the girl, she told me when she showered, it came literally right off of her.
Wow, that's really cool. That's amazing, and that means you can reuse it, which is great.
Oh yeah. I'm itching to do another Carrie shoot soon.
That's some serious fucked up. Yeah.
Love the lighting here. Very simple. I truly believe that it's now. I'm sure there's some other, because there's a light coming off the back of Sissy's head and the mom's head. Right. So I know it's not all just the candlelight here.
It wouldn't be. Right.
For the most part, I do believe that it is the candlelight. So, I do like the set design of this scene. You can definitely feel the mood of this room. Very dark, very cold.
It's the candlelight, but they would have another light source there to complement it. They'd have to, you know. But the goal is to give the impression that the light on their faces
just the candles.
Is just the candlelight. Yeah.
And I love it how she throws the thing in her face, and she just keeps going. She doesn't skip a beat.
Yes, exactly.
My dad, man, there was a stretch in time in our teenage years. He was very like this. Real strict, very Christian, very just, yeah. Oh, yeah. Not abusive, but just really overboard with the Christianity, and then like go pray and all. Oh, yeah. Like in our early like like 12, 13, 14 years old. By the time we were 15 and 16, we were looking at him like, yeah, dude, that ain't happening.
No. And look, there's fundamentalism in, I mean, there's, you know, in every, you know, religion, and people can take things, you know, people can eat too much. You can take, you know, religion too far. You can take your beliefs too far. You can impose your beliefs on other people too much. You can.
Yeah. The psycho nod. Did you catch that? The psycho nod?
Yes. Me. For sure. Yeah, that was great. You
Justin,
she's sorry.
I was saying, do I smoke before the show? I'm actually 2 weeks now clean. I haven't smoked in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Any reason? A break.
Why? Oh, taking a break?
Yeah.
Making your way in the world today takes
clearing the mind, you know?
Yeah, I gotcha. And right here, of course, Carrie is rebelling. This is what her mother feared.
She's standing up. Yeah.
Right. Now, right. And it's for this reason, again, why I think in real life, I don't think she would have been able to go out, because she's only having these thoughts because of outside influence.
Right.
If there was no outside influence, this conversation wouldn't be happening. And the mother is trying to hold on to it.
Blood
and of course,
skies,
the mother manipulates her. Sorry, I was just going to say the mother, of course, manipulates her into thinking that, you know, it's for her own good. You know, I'm trying to protect you. You know, I'm trying to. It's just psychological manipulation. It's bullshit. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
No, this is where they set up the trap. My lungs are good because I run about 8 to 10 miles, like almost 6 days a week. So that's between the smoke and it never really had any effect on me.
Well, it's weed, right? It's not tobacco, so
yeah, it's weed. I mean, still it's smoke, but
it's still smoke. Yeah, for sure.
Mendel, the first few nights were rough, just kind of going through that withdrawal and wanting it, but now I'm like, I'm good.
That's great, man. Whatever.
Keep your tits on. Keep your tits on. God, there's some great old lines in these movies. What was the other one a few weeks ago that you were really loving the line? What was the line in that movie?
Oh, your tits are stupendous.
Yeah, it's just some funny tits line in the last few movies we've watched.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ernest.
Know what I mean, Vern?
I love Jim Varney. Oh, I love Jim Varney. That was sad. He died.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Ernest
decorated committee
in our childhood.
Sorry?
Ernest was everything in the 80s in our childhood.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, he was everything, man.
That's something I would say. I'll take it any way I can get it.
Yep. Might as well. Getting their perms done, getting their hair done.
God, is this how girls did it back in the day? What is that, like, alien freaking
hairdryer
thing? No, I know the hairdryer, but the thing that's behind the chick's head that looks like it's attached to her head, but it's not attached to her head.
I think it's just a decoration, I think. I don't know. I think. It's a heck of a laugh. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. That's creepy. They're all going to laugh at you. That's it. Yeah, you know what's going to fucking happen. Kids are so cruel. Oh, that's gum chewing. I'm like, is it raining in there? No, it's PJ Souls chewing gum. Oh, listen to that music. Yes.
I'm just feeling that bass, man.
Oh,
that bass is
fantastic.
hard.
Yes.
I can
Sounds
play
like
a mean
Seinfeld
air
there.
guitar,
See how she's putting on makeup? She's again. Oh, and then she takes that off. This is exciting for her, man. This is like thrilling for her. She never experienced this before in her life. It's great.
man. Not with ruffles.
Dude, I'm telling you right now,
My dad
the
got
next
married
time I have to
wearing
get dressed up,
ruffles.
I think I'm just going to rent a tuxedo like this.
The dude standing next to the greatest American hero, that literally looks like what my dad wore in his wedding.
Okay,
Literally. That
Tony,
type of tux.
If you and I ever have to be somewhere together where we have to be dressed up,
We're gonna do Dumb and Dumber.
yes. Yes, we
We
are.
gotta get to see things and fight.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm going to lean on the counter and accentuate my ass out like Jim Carrey did.
Because the mirror is broken, it makes Sissy's face look so different. It doesn't even look like her.
In that one shot, yeah, I could see that. I could see what you're saying a little bit. I love where she's kept too, you know, like look at this room. It's actually it's kind of cozy looking now that I think of it.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yep. She was right. But it doesn't. Breasts, mama.
They're called breast.
They're called breasts. But again, she's just a. We'll burn it together and pray for forgiveness. Somebody needs to take this woman down. Somebody needs to take this woman down. And again, there's no way that her mother would let her go. But you see, she's old enough to a point now where she sort of almost has to. But she's going to try. You know, what does she do here? Oh, right. That's a great one note. It's like a violin, I think. Or, yeah. See, the mother's hitting herself. Yeah, because the mother feels out of control.
She's hot, man. Right now, when she's dolled up like this, I mean, she is sexy as fuck.
You hear that, folks? Sexy as fuck.
You don't think so, dude? She looks really
No,
good.
I think she's very pretty. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'd think she's sexy as fuck.
In
but
this
certainly,
scene where she's dolled up like that?
I think she's very pretty. Yeah, she looks very pretty for sure.
Because they did the makeup just right. They didn't overkill it. They have very you can still see a bit of natural beauty from Sissy.
Yeah, no, she looks great. Like, she looks great. And she looks great in comparison to where she was at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, again, it's that metamorphosis from child to woman, metaphorically. Obviously, she's still young. I mean, she's actually 27, but I mean, her character obviously is still young. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't necessarily call her a woman per se, but she certainly, she's probably, like, how old is she supposed to be in this movie? Like probably 17. 16, 17, something like that. Certainly she probably got her period 5 years later than when she was supposed to. Is probably it.
There's a girl that I've been talking to. She has a lot of Sissy SpaceX similar features. I'm trying to convince her to do the shoot.
Nice.
She's just a little paranoid with the COVID thing, so she doesn't want to do any shit.
Well, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. You son of a bitch. You're lying. You're lying.
No, he doesn't know.
No, but wasn't he?
Cat doesn't know like what they were up to as far as.
No, he doesn't know that. But he
genuinely is like happy to take her at this point.
I think so, but he was sort of. I thought he was like forced into it or something.
I think initially that's what it was, but I think as the movie progresses, he
does have an affection for her, though. Yeah,
right.
no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. Back when high school dances were bands instead of DJs. I mean, that's still before my time, because by the time we had
dances were decent. I will say that we even though we had DJs, because I mean I'm fond of our 80s and 90s music, but they were fun. They were like this. This is pretty much how they were.
Yep.
Just like this.
Yep. Agreed.
Now there was a high school dance I did photos for, like within the last, I want to say 10 years. And I might even say 6 years. It might not even be that old. And like kids just like stood there. They didn't do anything. They didn't dance. Like it was just like everyone was standing in their corners. And I'm like, I remember just talking to the teachers there. I was like, wow, this is a night and day difference from when I was in school to where it's now.
Yeah.
I think social media has a lot to do with that, meaning like kids, the social interaction thing.
Right.
That's like it was when you and I were in school.
That's a very good point. I always enjoyed going to my high school dances because it was always an opportunity, obviously always an opportunity to hang out with friends, but always an opportunity to potentially, get closer to the girl you liked, or, see if they were, there was always sort of some sort of
dance.
Yeah, exactly. And then rock out to the cool songs that were busting out, like Macarena.
I Swear.
Like I Swear, and
every time I hear that song, I can't help but think of Ryan Reynolds and Just Friends, and he's on and he's singing in the mirror.
But I remember being at dances when they played that.
Yeah, that was the songs. Those were the songs.
That was it.
Yeah, Boys to Men.
Boys to Men. When Water Runs Dry, I think it was, or
like that. End of the Road.
End of the Road. Yeah.
And we would do this.
That's yes. It doesn't matter what country you live in. We all did that. That's exactly how you danced. That was it. Because you didn't know how to dance, so you were just,
Yeah, you weren't doing this thing or whatever.
No, not at all. Exactly. Yeah, I had fun at my high school dance.
I did too. Even junior high. Junior high and high school dances were a lot.
Junior high? I remember there were two teachers in my junior high school who used to rock out to Bob Seger's Good Time, that old time rock and roll or whatever. Yeah, they'd put that on, and then the teachers would dance, and it was cute. It was kind of, I don't think it was cute then, but in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, it was kind of, because now I think I'm their age now, so it'd be like me rocking out to, I don't know, what's some good catchy song in the, I don't know. Be like me rocking out to House of Pain's Jump.
I will say this, Anthony T, you've been a big trouble in the super chats here tonight and in the chat room, and don't think Dave and I are going to respond to them, because I've been watching this going on all night long. So you can keep sending them in, buddy, but I've been watching what you've been doing in the chat room, and you've been upsetting a lot of people, which is why you've been put in timeout. So if you want to keep going with it, keep going, or Dave will actually end up banning you, dude.
What's
instigating? Just instigating stupid stuff, being like a 12-year-old.
Oh, I see.
Towards a lot of people, not just in general.
I admit I've been not looking at it so much, because I've seen a few things pop up, but the moderators are doing a good job, and I'll have to. I think maybe you mean Tony. You mean
Aaron.
I think Aaron.
I meant a few super chats before his super chats came in before that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony. Aaron.
Yes, because Anthony's look fine.
Yeah, no. It came in before that.
Yes,
I'm
cool.
Yeah.
No, that I'm aware of. I've seen that. That's
what I meant to say. So strike that, Anthony. You're fine. Aaron, your super chats are not going to get read.
Yeah. I don't know, Aaron, I don't know what the issue is there, but let's all just be friends and marry and be happy, and just life's too short to be dicks to each other.
Exactly.
I mean, again, I can see why they cast her too, because not only is she 27, but she looks like she's 17. But again, her performance, there's a great, I totally believe the vulnerability. I believe the vulnerability that she has. It's a sweetness, a naivety, if I say. She's extremely naive and vulnerable, and there's a sweetness to that naive, it's great. And she projects that incredibly well. I totally believe her. Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't dance like this. Nobody was dancing like arm in arm and close.
Like some of the couples there, you see like that. Yeah, no, we were dancing like that.
Yeah, with the arm up over the yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You're fine, Anthony. You're good. What happened is your super chat came in and it just screwed me up for a second there. So you're totally cool, dude. It was Aaron's, but the super chat for Aaron's got wiped out when yours came in there. So, and I saw your name and my brain got screwed up there for a second.
That's all right. She's dancing. She's never done this. Nobody's cared. Oh, he goes in for a kiss on the forehead and she rejects him.
She's nervous, that's okay. Man.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's 100%. That's what it is. It's not personal. It's this, whoa, like,
Danielle Sarno. That was my first kiss junior high during a dance.
My first kiss was at 38.
I think it was what's the name of that song?
Your first kiss came during a dance?
Well, my first kiss during a dance.
Okay. Cool. Do you remember the song?
It was a remake song by a group called 4 p.m. and it was oh my God, I got the melody in my freaking head. I think it's called So Much in Love, I think is the name of the title. By 4 p.m. I'm almost positive. That was the song that we were dancing to at the time, and that was my first kiss during a dance.
Okay. Cool.
And that was 7th grade.
Oh, that's cool. And was this your girlfriend?
Like real kiss, not like a little peck. Like I'm talking a real kiss. Oh yeah, she was my junior high sweetheart.
Okay.
We kind of had an on and off thing from like 6th, 7th, and 8th, like typical junior high stuff. Like your boyfriend, girlfriend, 1 minute, then you're not, then you are again, and then you're not.
I got you. This is such a great scene here. It's long. We're still watching them dance, but what's so great about this is we begin to see apprehension turn to euphoria, and we see an arc in her character even during the dance. She's apprehensive, she's nervous, she's naive, she's vulnerable, and then by the end of the dance, they're spinning around like they've been dating for 5 years, and she is quote unquote normal. And now she's at a point where she feels comfortable, she's more relaxed, and she's happy for all intents and purposes. She's still Carrie and she's still got a bit, but now what makes the turn much more dramatic is we needed to see that happen. We needed to see her happy and see that transformation of going from vulnerable to a little more content and comfortable, right? Like here they are sitting together. She's a little more comfortable. She gets a little nervous now because of the whole, but look, see that smile? See the smile? She's kind of feeling it. She's, and she feels more comfortable now. And it makes the downturn that happens to her, the switch, much more like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? And more devastating for her. It makes it more devastating for the character and more, tough to watch, like somebody fucking up at I don't know, singing or something, and they sing like shit, and you're like, oh, that's tough to watch. It makes this tough to watch. I mean, obviously it's not happening here, but
Oh, it was All for One. So Much in Love. It was a remake that they did. This song.
Yes,
remember
I remember this? Yes, that was a good one.
We were dancing to that song, and she kissed me. I was too fucking chicken shit to kiss her. I was sweating balls, man. I was nervous.
That's a great
song. That was
song.
our first kiss, peck kiss, was during that summer between 6th and 7th grade. She came by my house one night, knocked on my door because she was spending the night up at a friend's house right up the road from us. And we, walked around the neighborhood, and we were hanging out at the baseball field by the park, which was like kind of in the center of our neighborhood. Right. And she leaned in and kissed me then too. In fact, I didn't do anything. And then at the dance, when we were dancing, both times she made the move on me. I didn't make the move on her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that
just kind of hurts looking at it. Her chopping that carrot like that.
Oh, man. You know what she's thinking. And then she's just start hitting the the cutting board. Shit's gonna go down.
Timestamp is I've got 1 hour, 8 minutes, 10 seconds and counting.
Same.
Travolta's talking to his girl there underneath the bench as they're about
Chris, I'm gonna break up with you and go with a girl named Sandy.
Sandy D. Because I'm Grease Lightning.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That is a good movie. I'm not a musical guy. I mean, I like some, but that for sure, Grease is it's classic.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Grease is great.
PJ wearing that hat, man, even at the prom. Mendel Goodman, my favorite metal band. Depends on your definition of metal. Motley Crue's my favorite band of all time. I do consider them a metal pop punkish band of the 80s because their music was definitely a hybrid of metal and punk. At least that when you talk to Nikki Sixx and you ask him, that's how he describes it. So be the Crew.
Right.
I wonder why she always wore that damn hat throughout this whole film.
It's a character trait.
I guess, but I mean, at some point she could have taken it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at the prom?
Yeah.
Because I don't know too many girls wearing a ball cap at their prom.
It's true. She's just funky that way. She's funky that way. So cruel to her, what they do, But Carrie gets her revenge.
Oh, I mean, we're about to come up to one of the most iconic moments in horror cinema history, man.
100%. Yep.
Just.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
This is it.
And when she's got them eyes going, man, it's just, and she's perfect for that part. That just.
Oh, yes, she is. Absolutely.
Seeing at this point, even The Greatest American Hero, like you can see the genuine, like he likes her, like you know what I mean. Like it went from this like I don't want to do it, fine, I'll do it, to this he genuinely likes the girl. You know what I mean?
Yep. And of course,
so you see that, and I like that. I liked how they turned his character from being this kind of. He was never really portrayed as like a douchebag, but just like he went from being the guy that didn't really want to do it to a guy that you can like towards the end of the film. And Travolta's only doing what he's doing because he got a Hummer in his freaking car. So, if he didn't get that, he wouldn't be there right now because he didn't know who Carrie White was.
Exactly. But this is great too. This lead up here, the music being all happy. She's reached the pinnacle of her euphoria. She has reached the pinnacle of what she believes is acceptance. People are looking at her. They are clapping for her. She is the center of attention. She has wanted this her entire life. She's never experienced anything like this. And it's about to come crumbling down, of course.
And I like the shift in the tone of the music now, the offbeat that it's doing, that it's like, it's not so peaceful anymore. Shit's about to get real.
Right. Yep. Well, she's getting closer and closer to that moment. Yep. is the curly brown haired one, is she in on it?
No.
She's not, is it? Because she's looking around the corner from the
She was
back of the
another one
stage.
whose arc shifted and became more friends with Carrie, or at least that's the way it's supposed to be perceived, because she ends up
Right.
feeling bad for Carrie,
She does,
especially
yeah.
towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
She can't get over it,
Yeah.
because she has, it's argued, is it a dream? Is it real? The
Yes.
whole ending and everything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that this happens, but dude, this is so fucking epic. What's about to go down?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it sucks because of the character. It's poor. It's too bad because it was a, well, I mean, it's not a lie. It's just it's interrupted by nasty people.
Man, look at that old camera. By the way, they would not have been using that in the 70s. I mean, cameras were a little bit better than the old pullouts there, the old Rolex
That's
pullouts that he was using. She certainly took forever to fucking pull that bucket, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, building suspense. This is the suspense that's building. That's right. And she begins to notice now because she looks up. Yeah, they draw this out. They draw this out big time.
A little bit too long.
I agree. I think they probably could have cut this. Actually, it probably should have already happened by now.
By now. It should have definitely happened by now.
Yes.
But I get, you're building suspense, and I understand.
They are, and they've slowed it down so it's not
and
like.
And the thing is, she thinks that she's in on it, but she's not.
Right.
Love the lighting on her face, though.
Oh, yeah. That looks great.
This girl here, yeah.
Yeah, the curly brown haired, yeah. Whatever her name is, I forget. Here it comes. Oh yeah, they get the kiss first. And she knows, the teacher, yeah, the coach there, she knows that they're up to, or she thinks that she's up to it, obviously, but she knows something's about to go down.
Yeah, this is definitely,
yeah.
If there was a critique to this movie, it's this. It's you're way drawing it. And I understand why, but.
Yeah. Yeah, and they could have utilized all that with the shadow and the hand. I think it could have been tightened up a little bit, for sure. Shit's about to go down.
A lot of smacking in this movie.
There is a lot.
A lot of smacking.
There is a lot of smacking in this movie. One of the great smacks of all time is in Total Recall.
True.
It's a fucking smack in that movie that's so hilarious. And it's not even smacking Arnold. It's like I think it's a doctor that smacks one of the other doctors or something. It's just so fucking hilarious. Here it comes, folks.
And then William Catt selling the greatest knockout ever from a bucket.
Yeah. Oh. It's actually painful to watch.
It is. This is one of the toughest scenes to watch in a movie for me. It just sucks. And of course, fucking Linda has to start laughing.
I know. And she would laugh. Some people may laugh, but not everybody would laugh.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fun, but it's.
I'm just laughing at William Catt getting knocked out by a bucket.
Goes down. Yes,
I mean,
he goes down.
On, it's an empty bucket, bro. You're not gonna get knocked out from that.
No. Hey, it hit him in the right spot. Yeah, no, not everybody would laugh like this.
No.
But that's a great face. That's scary as fuck. But what could be happening here though is that it depends on how you perceive this. right? There might only be a couple of people laughing.
Right. Not everybody's not right.
But
It's
in
she
her
feels that
mind,
everybody, right.
Right. In her mind, everybody's laughing at her because she's suddenly remembering what her mother said. So now the director is showing us from her perspective, everybody going, everybody, but it's not necessarily really
Her
everybody
look
in
here,
reality.
So iconic.
Oh my, isn't that frightening? Oh, it's so great.
And the split screen and how you got hers blue.
Yes.
And it's about to go serious fucking red right now.
Yeah, it's going fucking down. Oh. Like she's got such a great look to her naturally. That's right. Get that fucking Linda. Get that Linda from Halloween. Kill that bitch.
Don't worry, Carrie. Michael's going to get her in 2 years for you.
There you go. Well, I think she goes down here too, right? I think
she does.
Yeah.
But Michael's going to choke that bitch out with a fucking phone cord.
Exactly. That guy got
that guy getting flipped over with the punch bowl.
I want to be.
I love the scene though. I love the red filter.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Just like it's so perfect.
Yep. The ominous drone of the one note.
The Greatest American Hero would be this knocked out from a bucket though.
I don't think. Well, I agree.
I mean,
it was
a little oversell, but okay.
It was a bucket that was made of brick.
I guess. I mean, because he's looking pretty lifeless right there.
He is. Well,
they're trying to,
out.
He's
out. He's just gone. It's just he's just completely gone. The guy's just dead. Oh yeah, like her. Oh, it's so great.
I wonder what De Palma said to Sissy. Sissy, just bug your eyes out. And that's it. That's it. Bug your eyes out. That's it.
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Like John telling Nick to walk. Sissy, just open your eyes.
Just give me bug eyes. Do this.
That's it.
That's great. Perfect. Let's go.
Because you and I can do it, and it doesn't. Just her face, her eyes. It was meant. She was meant for this role because that look. Well, that's Carrie.
It's her bone structure.
Yeah.
It's she just has a unique look to her. Naturally. So you get her to do that. It just accents that.
Oh, and the flames behind her.
Oh, yes.
I was so glad to recreate something similar to that last year with the fireworks going off behind the girl I had playing Carrie.
Yes.
Couldn't do fire, obviously, for safety reasons.
No, but it was good, though. Now she's just walking ominously, like.
She's just looking like I don't know. Is she admiring her work or, and I love
she's totally, whatever was brewing, it's now.
And this coming out the door and the door is opening. Such a great shot.
It's so great. Look at that fire too. Look at the frame rate of that fire behind her. It's so wonderful.
This is cinema. This is how you make a fucking movie.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The fog there. Fire behind her. That's so great.
And she's just walking home, got the hands out and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is when she fucks up Travolta's car and
that's right. Yeah, because he was part of it. Well, so was she. Yeah, fuck it up. They know.
Yeah, so she knows her strength. She knows her ability. She knows what she can do.
And you know what's crazy? They were going to kill her.
Yep.
They were going to hit her. Damn,
that's why I have no sympathy for them.
No, none at all. None at all.
You got what you deserved.
Exactly. And she goes home, and of course, this is the best thing that could have ever happened to her mother.
Yep.
Because it just, and it's just a matter of circumstance at the end of the day.
Well,
her mother is vindicated to some degree, which is so unfortunate.
Vindicated, and she, you know, is wanting her mom to tend to her, to care for her. This is her mom, and the total opposite happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't even matter whether she won. I don't think she won the award that year for Carrie.
I don't think so. No.
But I mean, the performance is just fucking top notch.
That's great. Yep. Could not agree more. So Carrie's just entered her house here. Look at all the candles.
Got that church music organ kind of going there in the background.
Yep. Yeah, this is, I mean, she's just accepting, you know, that. Oh, right. Yeah. Fuck. Excuse me. A lot of candles.
I realized too, we're doing back-to-back weeks of two of my favorite horror films, this and next week.
Mm-hmm. Don't say it out loud, but give me a clue again. What's next week again?
My family's in meat.
Clue?
Into meat.
Right. And then the week
the
after.
OG. What we tried to do last year, but we couldn't because of, I don't know why, technical problems or something on the anniversary.
I remember, yeah, something.
I remember why we couldn't do it.
Might have been technical problems. Yeah, it might have been. Might have been. That was good.
Tony. You know, once in a while I can, you know. Might have been. Hey, even a dog's ass can shine on a rainy day, right?
You're not a dog. I love this. I love how she's just, you know.
Yeah. The lighting, the set, everything is just
great.
Beautifully done.
I love the tungsten warm.
Yep.
You know, glow from the candlelight. It's great. Love the shadows in the wall. I love the, you know, the deep blacks.
Yeah, her mom's there and you know, looking all like creepy behind the door there.
Yep, fucking creepy as hell. Love that. And do you want, see the mannequin sort of bust in front of her?
Yeah.
That's put there because if it wasn't there, you'd notice the mother more.
Exactly.
But when you put that there, the mother sort of, it's like it's kind of like, it just seems like it's another bust or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. And you don't draw any attention to it. She turns on the light and you just see the mother's face. It's fantastic. That's what I'm talking about, folks. It's fantastic. Yeah, that's what you do.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come get me. Come on. That location where I went hiking to over the weekend, man, that would be a badass place to do a Predator shoot. I just got to find someone who can dress into that costume.
Yes. Yeah, you got to get a bodybuilder in there.
Yeah. Can't get no small dude for that.
No. Or you do, and you just make it part of the hilarity of the shoot.
Wasn't the guy who played Predator the same dude who did Harry and the Hendersons? Or am I mixing something?
Yes, I think you're correct. Yes, I think you are correct. You need to, or you do it with somebody who's really tiny, and you make it part of the hilarity of the photo shoot. But he's full force. Like you deck him out and everything, and the photos are dead serious. But he's like 120 pounds.
4'11".
Yeah, 5 feet right on the button. It's like, holy shit, this guy looks fucking mean. Yeah. See, she's conceded. Yeah, like it's the worst thing that could have happened was on this night that's supposed to be the happiest, some kids at the school happen to be dicks. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah, and then like, you know, her mother's confessing how she should have killed herself after. Yep. Yeah, it's like.
Yep.
Like the last thing she needs to hear right now is this.
Exactly. Timestamp, folks. We are 1 hour 27 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, this
We're at
movie
the climactic moment
flies
here.
pretty good.
What's that?
It flies. The movie flies pretty
did.
good. It's
It did.
very, you know, good pace.
Yep.
It's as Tommy Lee Wallace put it when they edited Halloween, like butter.
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 Remember that ad with the lid?
Yeah,
butter.
the lid, butter. Butter.
Butter. Butter. And we got the butter. Butter.
I wish like Hulu, where like I watch Married with Children, I wish they would do the old like commercial ads for like with, you know,
that'd be fun.
That'd be great.
Be fun, but then the product's
not relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It'd be pointless. But I agree. Sometimes when I'm on YouTube, I just YouTube like 80s commercials, 90s commercials. I'll YouTube like 50s commercials too and watch a bunch of all that shit. It's crazy to see. It's crazy to see some of the shit they did in commercials like that would never fly today.
No.
Never. Even some shit like when we were teenagers, like that's never gonna happen. Yeah. And we didn't think anything of it. We thought it was funny or whatever, you know?
DMT Infinity, that's right. Al Bundy, the single greatest high school football player of all time.
Yeah.
Scored four touchdowns in a single game.
Oh, shoe salesman.
Won the state championship for Polk High, I think it's 66 or 7.
Well, you know it pretty well.
Well, I just watched it. I just watched it.
Right. That's true.
So it's not like I know it because I watched it. I literally just watched it.
That's true.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that her mother stabs her.
Yep.
And that's when this sets it all off. That's right. I forgot about that part.
Fuck. What an awful mother. God, what an awful, awful mother.
Gary Rangel. Yeah, I like old school wrestling. I don't like modern wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling since really the Attitude Era. My favorites in order would be Stone Cold Steve Austin, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Taker. Macho Man growing up very much so in the 80s and early 90s. Then after he left, or he became more of a commentator, then he left. It was Taker for a while, and then when the Attitude Era hit, it was Austin. Carrie just launching them fucking knives, man.
I know, and I love it. It looks great.
Crucifixion, which again, the symbolism of that. That's what I love about this shot that's coming up. It's the crucifixion, or sort of.
Yep. Yes.
And she's like having an orgasm with it.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's a crucifixion.
I've always been torn about this ending. Like I'm cool with mom dying, but I've always felt like I wish Carrie got out of the house. You know what I mean? I understand why. It's the whole tragedy of the story, but there's also a part of me that wishes she was able to escape and get away.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And of course, it's like she's
and
it's ironic that she's in the same pose as Jesus, because
the Jesus that she prays to in their closet,
because she's nothing like Jesus, and she certainly wouldn't,
Well, I think I'd have to do my research again, but I think a lot of the wounds here are the symbolisms are very biblical, because I know Christ was nailed through his hands. I get that, but wasn't he pierced as well too? I don't know enough about the crucifixion, but I thought he was also stabbed as well too while he was up there. Someone who in the chat, if you know more about that, correct me if I'm wrong. I could have sworn that was part of it as well.
That's a great shot, though.
It is.
Of all the candles
really
and her there,
shot.
She's lit really well. Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, Frank said, he was in the rib. So, okay, he was stabbed. All right.
Okay. The mother is toast. See, she thinks she loves her mother, but she doesn't. It's just because it's all she's known. And of course, what happened earlier perpetuates that. Helps to perpetuate her, or helps to
see. I don't
solidify
know.
that for her.
I would have been okay if he went the okay. She's trying to save her mom.
She is.
I would have just been like, nah, man, you got to go. I'm getting out of here.
No, exactly. And that's what it really should be. But you see, the worst thing that could have happened to her happened. And her mother is toxic. Her mother is not good for her. Her mother is an awful, awful, abusive parent. But in this situation, because of those damn kids, it looks like she's vindicated and now she's regretting what she did. And yeah, like really she shouldn't, I agree with you. And of course, this supernatural almost implosion of her house.
You just almost wish that her character makes it through it to the end.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Is his eyes glowing?
His eyes were always like that, even earlier in the movie. I
gotta find me something like that, man.
That comes...
Someone probably makes this shit out there. They make everything nowadays.
Yeah,
dude,
for sure.
It looks like what's his name, the guitar player from Queen.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Doesn't it? It looks like what's his name, Brian.
I know who you're talking. I forget his name. But...
you know who I'm talking. Brian.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever his last name is.
Yeah. Or it looks like... a little bit like Weird Al in the 80s.
Oh my God, it looked just like him a little bit. Anyway, so darker, darker skin tone, but like the hair. Brian May, thank you.
There you go, Brian May. Yeah.
Got that nice little, filter.
It does.
Thing.
This is great.
Oh, there's our phone, a white version of it.
That's right.
Back over there in the corner. I think this girl here at the end is in Carrie the Rage, if I remember correctly. I haven't watched that in a long time. I think she's in that movie.
I think too. I could be wrong, but one of the girls in this movie, one of the girls,
chick, yeah, I think she's in the Rage. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Right? Isn't she in the Rage? Carrie too.
One of the girls in this movie earlier, like one of the classmates, I think was the crazy dealership woman from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm almost certain.
She's hot. She's got pretty eyes. She really does. She's got very attractive eyes.
Yeah, she's pretty. Yep. No, she is for sure.
Art Windshield. Yes, it's one of my favorites, King novels. I have read the book. I have the original first pressing of Carrie. Cool. And it's literally, as I said at the beginning of the stream, if you read the book and you watch the movie, it's beat for beat. It's the same. They do not, take any liberties and change anything. It's one of the few novels to movie adaptations that is true to the novel.
Cool. Oh, Darren says that's correct, Dave. That's what I thought. I noticed her earlier and I was like, that kind of, and I'm like, and then I forgot to say something. Very cool. That's cool. Now, obviously, some people have said, is this a dream? Is this not a dream?
Yeah, it's always debated whether... I think it kind of is.
I lean towards a dream because when she looks up now, there's just blackness around the sign. There's even more of a hue over the picture. Nobody would put something like that there with rubble, and it just would be a strange thing to do.
And then she's there, like, with her arm. You know what I mean?
And then she wakes up. Right, she wakes up. Right, exactly.
To me, it's a dream.
Right, for sure.
I mean, but if your interpretation of it that it's real, nothing wrong with that either.
Some people have often said that, like, obviously she wakes up and now it actually looks like, well, of course she's dreaming. She woke up, but some people have thought that maybe she's now coming from the dead, like she's the other side and she's the ghost or she's coming or whatever. I think it's just a dream, but she's so traumatized by it, What a great ending. You know, and of course I love when they use red font on black.
Amy
with horror
Irving,
movies.
that's
It's
her
nice.
name. Sue Snell, the girl here at the end.
Amy Irving.
Amy
Yeah.
Irving. Okay.
William Cat. Yeah.
Greatest American hero.
And it didn't need a sequel. I never saw the sequel, but it certainly didn't need it. Folks, that is Carrie, 1976. What did you guys think? Hey, if you're watching after the fact, comment below and let Tony and I know what you thought about it. That is an awesome movie. Certainly one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Yeah, I mean, what is there to say that hasn't been already said about Sissy Spacek's performance?
And her mother's performance too. What's her name? Jesus Christ.
But
oh my
fantastic.
God, what's her name? We just saw the name pop up. I almost said Piper. Yeah, Piper, whatever. Piper,
yes,
something.
that's right. Yes, it is. I believe that is it. And she was great in the role. She was
in the role. As the mother, absolutely.
100%.
Piper Laurie. Cinematography on point. Like I said, that gym scene is one of my favorite scenes in all of horror. The shot selections that they chose to do. I love the OG split screen at times that they did. And of course, Carrie walking out with the flames behind her. It's fucking epic.
Exactly. Okay, let's get to some super chats. So send them in. We'll answer your questions here. Tony and I will be with you for a little bit. Mendel Goodman sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, King was going to throw this story away, but his wife convinced him not to. That is correct.
That is correct. And it became his first novel.
That's right.
And the rest, as we know it, is history.
100%. Schnip. Love that name. $9.99 super chat says, Monster Dog, cheesy Spanish horror movie starring Alice Cooper. Some decent Monster Dog hyphen is a cheesy Spanish horror movie starring Alice Cooper. Some decent mood and atmosphere, and for some reason they dubbed over Alice Cooper with an American voice actor. Funny, should be interesting. Fun time if you love Coop. I've never heard of that movie. Have you heard of that movie?
I haven't heard of it.
Ah, interesting. Jason Nike sends in a $5 super chat, says, for the channel, Dave and Tony, keep up the great work. Thank you, Jason, one of my great moderators here for the channel. Blood Red Skies says, hey, Dave, the climax of Carrie with the music and her walking slowly and hauntingly, bloody, causing havoc is a good example of pure horror. This was sent earlier in the stream. Tony and I talked about that when it got to that moment. We absolutely agree. I think Tony's quote was, now this is how you make a movie.
That's how you make a horror film or any
great
movie
stuff.
for that matter.
Exactly. I could not agree more. Let me see here. Now we get to Anthony T. Anthony T sends in a super chat and says, did you watch the documentary about De Palma on Netflix? It's very good. And he explains the opening of Carrie and why he had the split screen The Prom. I have not seen it, but I wouldn't mind checking that out. I didn't know there was a De Palma documentary on Netflix. Have you seen it, Tony?
I have not.
I have to check that out. Let me see here. Anthony T sends another super chat, says, but Dave, I need my answer now. Another super chat by Anthony T. Thank you so much, buddy. You've been good tonight with the super chats. Says,
yes,
I'm sure
you've been very good, and I apologize, dude. I got you screwed up with someone else. That was my bad.
Hey, it happens. Anthony T says, I'm sure you saw the 2013 remake. I haven't. How could they fuck up a movie so bad? It could have been so much better. Even the prom decorations sucked. And you haven't seen the remake either, right?
The one with Chloe Moretz? No, I haven't seen that. I've only seen Carrie and Carrie 2, The Rage.
Okay. Blood Red Skies, thank you, buddy, says, why did H-18 have the same stunt coordinator guy as Rob Zombie's Halloween? The stunt coordinator is Ron Hutchinson. Could it be the same production team? No. It could have just been a coincidence. Yeah.
I think
it could have just been that. You know, it doesn't. I mean, having the same stunt coordinator on a bad movie, that doesn't mean anything. That's fine. It doesn't mean anything.
If I were doing a horror film that required a lot of stunts and whatnot, I'd just go to the man himself. Tom Cruise, get over here. Am I doing this right? Give me some advice, buddy. I need to know because you like to hang off planes and shit.
That's it. Tom Cruise. Balboa.
How you doing, man?
How you doing? Come on, Rock. Come on.
Give it all you got, Mick. I can't do.
You need proper management, Rock. You just need proper management. It stinks. So fucking stinks. Balboa just says
We need
2.
to do that around Thanksgiving because I think that's when we need to do a Rocky.
That you're up there. That'd be good. I agree. Balboa sends in a £2 and just says 2. I'm assuming you mean for the £2 or whatever, Balboa. Hey, thanks very much, man. Appreciate it. TMB says, hey guys, have either of you seen Umbrella Academy? Thoughts on it if you have? I have not. Tony, have you seen it?
No.
I think it's a show on
You know
Netflix.
what I did watch this week though? I threw in a couple of, I haven't seen these in so long. Have you seen Tourist Trap?
Yes. Yeah.
The
yes,
79 film and the Dark Knight of the Scarecrow?
No, I have not.
Oh, you got to see that. I mean, it's definitely dated and it's definitely a movie that could be totally remade today if done right. But those were 2 flicks I haven't watched in a long time. You should check out Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
I believe Erwin Yablans was a producer on Tourist Trap.
He was.
Yes, I believe so. Dusty Rose sends in a super chat. Says, learn and support the Free Britney movement.
Oops,
yeah,
I did it again.
Yeah, what's going on with her? Something going on with her, financial something or other. Who knows? Howard D sends in a super chat and says, Piper Laurie was also the teacher in The Faculty. Oh, I'll have to check that out again. Piper Laurie.
We got to do The Faculty. We got to do that.
Yes.
We got to do The Faculty one night.
Yeah, Faculty.
I like that film. That was a good flick.
Oh, I'm good. Michael Goodman sends in a $2 super chat. Says, Tony, I'm going to miss the beard, man.
I'm not, dude. It's like 110 degrees, man, in this humidity and shit. I'm loving it, dude. I went on my first run this morning. I was like fucking Forrest Gump on that run, and I was loving it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you know, dude, because you run. You understand.
I ran last night. It was
and
great.
You guys are getting the same fucking humidity that we're getting. Everybody is. So you all know what I'm talking about with this weather this summer. Yes. It's just sucked.
It was 41 degrees. No, 40. What was it today? I think it was 42 degrees Celsius, which is like 110 or 9 or something ridiculous. And of course, we get the humidity up here. Yeah. So it was just insane.
Satan's just fucking breathing on Earth right now. Like,
yes, he is. Zach Axiola says, Dave and Tony, thoughts on Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds? I think it's his best film, as well as the best adaptation of the book because of the mood and atmosphere alone. I actually really like Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. I don't think it's his best movie, but I certainly enjoyed the adaptation of it. What about you, Tony?
I mean, again, everything's obviously subject to opinion. I think Jaws is my favorite Spielberg film. I mean, but then again, I love E.T. as well, too. And eventually here, I'm going to get to Indiana Jones. I need to get to that. I'm one of the few people on this planet that hasn't seen any of the indie films, but I know they're great.
They're great.
War of the Worlds, Brad Pitt, right?
No, Tom Cruise.
No, Tom Cruise. Sorry, Tom Cruise.
You're probably thinking of World War Z.
Yeah. World War Z, Dakota Fanning's his daughter.
Correct.
I mean, it was decent. It was a decent sci-fi, flick, but little kind of like Jaws, and I definitely love E.T. I mean, E.T. was our childhood.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Elliot. Orlando Gomez says, just stopping by to say hi. Can't stay long. Have to get back to work. So hi everyone. Rewatch it later. Hello, Orlando. Thank you very much, buddy. Blood Red Sky sends another $5 super chat. Thank you, Blood Red. Says, watched Halloween 5 on VHS.
I'm kidding. I'm just busting. I know there's Halloween 5 fans out there. I'm kidding.
Watched Halloween 5 on VHS, and I noticed when Jamie sees the corpse of her dead dog, Max, it barks or there's a bark dubbed in. Have you cared to notice? Well, I don't remember. I mean, I know the scene you're talking about, but I don't remember.
When she's in the attic and she sees the dog, Max's hand, when she just, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is it just before she sees Rachel? Because she sees Max, the dog barks, she turns, and then she sees Rachel. You hear a bark. I think that's how the sequence goes.
If that's true, it was probably meant to be used as, just, what's the word? Like a poetic way of it's the remnants of the dog and you hear a memory, you know what I mean? Is probably, looks, the director was being very eccentric and avant-garde. So, I'm sure it probably that was a
Pepe Le
moment
Pew.
during the sound design that he would have done that.
Film.
Right. Yeah. Marquand or no, Marquand.
He's Pepe Le Pew.
That's Return of the Jedi. The fuck is the director's name again?
Pepe Le Pew.
Halloween 5. Yeah, I always get it. I always get this mixed up. Chat room, let me know. Those who are big Halloween 5 fans. Southpaw 82 says, would you guys watch Craven's Swamp Thing classic?
Yeah, and I'm sure at some point. I mean, there's so many movies, guys, that
that's just it.
Believe me, we're going to be. I don't even think if me and Dave live to 100, we can do them all.
No, I don't think so. Intel Wild sends in a very generous super chat. Thank you very much, Intel. James, my man, appreciate it. Says, for all the trolls and the haters, you can't defeat the McRae community or Michael Mania. That is true. That is true. Thank you, Intel. Really appreciate that, man. Gary Rangel says, Dave, what got me into Michael Myers more was Resurrection, something I never got to admit on your live streams. I like it, not a perfect movie, but just thought you should know, you and Tony. Well, that's okay, Gary. That's okay. If you like Halloween Resurrection, that is great. I think it's a pile of dog shit, but that's okay.
I'm telling you, man, like that night, because I think I'm going to be stopping my smoking of weed for a long time, but that night I'm going to go fucking full method with Donald Pleasance, and I'm going to drink my ass off when we watch that film. Oh my God, just to make it through that movie is going to be fucking painful. Hey, is it over?
Tony, you okay?
Michael!
That'll be funny. Oh my God. Darren, yeah. Dominic Othin Gerard. Dominique Othin Gerard, I think is probably how you say it.
Is his nickname.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Did we watch that yet? Have we watched all that?
5?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
so. I know we've watched 4.
We watched 4. We watched H2O.
H2O, the first one.
Have we watched 6? Or did I do 6 on a movie?
No, we did not
on a
do
Saturday
6
movie
yet.
I think I did 6 on a Saturday.
We did.
I've watched Resurrection on a Saturday movie night. I know that.
We did 1 for H2O and the new one, 2018.
Right. So we still have. And Rob Zombie's Part 1.
Oh yeah, Rob Zombie's Part 1. I think we're gonna be Halloween's gonna be on hold until we get closer to Halloween.
Yes, I agree.
Because we're getting close to that now.
I agree. Frank Riker. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it, man. Frank the Tank, one of my great moderators here for the sexy MFers in the chat room before Intel Wild steals it. Intel Wild and Frank Riker have a friendly competitiveness going on. I love it. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Energy Sucker says, I love when Tony gets into the voices. Energy Sucker says, Dave, why do serious horror films feel the need to add goofy, clumsy cops? It's been a cliche since the 70s, and I still don't get it in horror today. Well, I wouldn't say having goofy, clumsy cops is a cliche in a serious horror movie. I would say having goofy, clumsy cops in horror movies sometimes can be. It depends on the you get them a lot in Friday the 13th because for the most part, Friday the 13th they're B movies
serious,
at best. Yeah. It's just a type of movie it is. Sleepaway Camp or Friday the 13th or, but I think the reason, the actual creative decision is because most horror movies, unless it's a serious, certainly slasher movies, unless it's a serious psychological thriller, like you're talking about like Shutter Island or Prisoners or Seven,
Carrie.
like if you get to that level, or that sort of that subject matter and that level of intensity, you don't usually see any sort of comedic breaks to relieve tension. It's all about relieving tension, but comedy like horror is about timing, and you can go too far. And I understand that Halloween 18 is a slasher movie, but it's a modern slasher movie. It's not B movie straight to DVD kind of slasher movie. It wasn't necessary to have the amount of comedy they had or the type of comedy they had in Halloween 18. It wasn't necessary because it's not, it doesn't have that vibe to it. It's not a B movie. You know, it's, you know, the production value, it's hard to say. It's just, it didn't need it. It didn't need it. But if you're doing something like, you know, that's clearly B movie like Terrifier or, you know, something of a little lower budget, let's say, you know, a lot of those movies had those clumsy, bumbling cops, but not because, like, it became a cliche. Like, they didn't put a bumbling cop in there necessarily because it was more about having an idiot that could be sort of comedic relief, but also you need the idiot in there to, let me think here. You need I know what I want to say. I'm just trying to figure out how to compartmentalize my thoughts. And it's not just cops. Like, it can be like, it's, you know, the doofus jock, or it's the, you know, whatever the case is, right? Like, you need those people in there that, are set, that they set up sort of, the killers. Yeah. I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to.
Here's a good example of how to deliver that effectively. Our buddy from Halloween 2, who became the dentist there, the cop in Jaws. Okay. He was Brody's assistant.
Right.
He wasn't the serious cop. There was a bit of comedy to his character, but not like total silliness, but
right.
the way it was delivered by the actor and how Spielberg wrote it was effective in Jaws. I mean, it wasn't total like Halloween 5 goofy and silly, but you know what I mean? And when you compare, when you juxtapose him next to Brody, you know what I mean? Brody's obviously the more serious cop versus to, Jesus, what's his name in Jaws?
Hendricks.
Right. You know, he's not goofy, but he's not like serious either. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like when he's asking him to like, what's your name write it? You know, and he's, you know, because.
But that's also a serious movie.
Right.
And
exactly.
It would have been very out of place for him to be like Dukes of Hazzard Boss Hogg. You know what I mean? That would have been very out of place,
too
right?
Extreme. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's also just the tone and the vibe of the film, you know, and you know, you just get those clumsy idiots in there. But sometimes you can make the mistake by adding that cliche into a more serious toned film like a Halloween 18, and it feels very out of place. You know, I don't believe that the cops would be. Now, the cops for me in 18 actually were not. I didn't have an issue with that. I thought the scene went on too long.
That's it. It was too long.
Yeah, but what Christopher Nelson and the other actor whose name escapes me, what they were saying, well, you know, yeah, like it was cute. Like I get what they were trying to do. It just went on a little too long. Ray's peanut butter on my penis line, I just don't buy it. I don't believe that that dad would say that. You know, like, oh, I got peanut butter on my penis. You know, I don't like, what is this? What they live in the sticks or something? Like, I just don't. It just seems like an unnecessary. It just seems like Danny McBride. Oh, that'll get a laugh. And it's like, yeah, but it's unnecessary. It doesn't fit in the rest of the movie.
Like Pineapple Express, you know,
right? Or it fits in just a B movie sleepaway camp, or a, you know, something where you got those types of characters, where the rest of the tone of the film is not satirical, but you know, a little self-aware. You know, a little more self-aware. Like it's the only reason why you could have. Dooley, right? That's his name in Scream, right? Dooley? Is it Dooley in Scream?
Dewey.
Right? Dewey. Yeah. Dewey. You couldn't have Dewey in Halloween 18. You couldn't have Dewey in
absolutely
not.
But he fits in Scream.
But he fits in Scream because it's self-aware, because it's playing on the tropes. You know, it's spoofy-ish, right? It's playing into that, you know. So I think that, I know I'm going off on a tangent here and this is way too long, but I had to think about it for a moment. It's really all about just, why do they feel they need? I think it's become a cliche, and I think filmmakers sometimes will make the mistake that it's not a horror cliche. It's a B movie slasher cliche. Yeah. You know.
Well, and I think to just kind of quickly piggyback off, and we'll get right back into the questions, guys.
Yes.
The way David Arquette plays Dewey, okay, like he has that goofball cop, you know, personality, but at the same time, Dewey, the character himself, the way Arquette's playing him, he feels he's serious. You know, he wants people to take him serious.
That's right.
So that adds to the character of like, yeah, he's a little goofy, but he also is, you know, he's trying to be for real about this shit.
Exactly. No, 100%. 100%. Absolutely. No, you're right. Let's see here. Let me scroll back here. I know some stuff came in. I want to scroll back. MFers in the chat. Let me see here. Energy Sucker says, Dave, why do... Oh, I already read that. Is that the one I read? Yeah, that's the one I read. That's right. That is the one I read. Nick says, speaking of wrestling in De Palma and being Italian, Tony, ever see Captain Lou Albano play a funny-ass hitman in De Palma's 1986 gangster comedy Wise Guys?
No. The only thing I've ever seen Lou Albano in is the Cyndi Lauper videos he did in the 80s with her.
That's right.
He was in a few of those. Right. He did the Goonies video with her.
Yeah, he played her father in...
Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Cobra Dojo says, Halloween 5 is better than its rep. Halloween, I disagree.
Better than Halloween 4?
No, I think better than its reputation.
Reputation. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Frank Riker says, Tony, what's worse, a girl with hairy arms or bad breath?
Oh, bad breath. I have a thing for smell. Like, I can't do smell.
Yeah.
That's like a no. I can't do that. Any type of smell, like, really is like a big turn off for me.
Yeah. I hear you. Let's see here. Let's get a non-super chat. Let's see here. DMT.
Oh, there is one. There is one that Zach has been doing for since the beginning of the stream here. Can I grab it?
Yeah, for sure.
Super chat. He said, at Dave and Tony, do you think Halloween Kills has the potential to be a great film that builds off the 2018 as well as be an improvement? Well, I hope it's an improvement from the 2018 film. Yes. I mean, for me, I can't speak for Dave. I've taken my approach with this particular Halloween by not watching too much stuff on it, not reading too much stuff on it. So I'm not building up an expectation so that when I go in there, my expectation's not too high right now. I mean, look, in reality, unfortunately for us, you know, fans who have been old enough since The Curse of Michael Myers, the track record with Halloween films in theater hasn't been all that great.
That is true.
You know, as far as walking out of there going like, yeah, you know, I mean, I've shared the story with you with Resurrection, but there's a caveat, not Resurrection, I'm sorry, H2O. There's a caveat with that. I was also with a group of friends. We had a good time. So that does play into the movie going experience and watching Halloween in the theater. Right. But for the rest of it, it's just been so I think because of my expectation bar being kind of not here, but more like even keel, I think that's helping me out so that when it does come out next year in theater, I think I'm going to enjoy it more. Now, will it be better or improve? I mean, I guess it depends by your definition of what you mean by improve, right, Dave? I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what, because that's very true. What
I don't know what you're meaning by like improve from.
Right. I think I think he's just saying, basically in a general sense, do we think Halloween Kills? Do we think we'll enjoy Halloween Kills more than we enjoyed H18? I think is probably it. Like, will it improve for us?
I think I'm going to enjoy Halloween Kills, to be honest, because of the expectation and not reading too much about it. I think I hope. I mean, God, I could walk out of there like I did Resurrection and Rob Zombies too. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to at least enjoy it.
Exactly. Let's see here. DMT Infinity says, a life that's lived in the absence of the psychedelic experience is a life that's trivialized, a life that's limited, and a life that's enslaved to the ego. Where'd you rip that from, DMT? Let's see here. Kevin Dugan says, Dave is slipping. He's slipping on his horror movie knowledge. Was I? Did I say something that was incorrect? What did I say that was incorrect? Uh-oh, somebody tell me, quick, tell me. Or was it because I was trying to figure out how to compartmentalize if it was because of that, hey, sometimes when you get asked questions, like I take questions seriously. So sometimes I got to think and I got to go, let me think here for a second. How do I articulate this in the best possible way? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what you're saying. Or maybe I said something that was incorrect. Please let me know if I said something that was incorrect. And I will concede if it is incorrect. Let's see here. I think the next one is this one here. Energy Sucker says, should Michael's mask be tucked in or out, or half in or half out, or one neck side tucked in or one neck side tucked out? Feel free to answer, no pressure. You put your left foot in, you take your left foot out.
Well, I think it's easy, just the way Nick wore it in the original film, pop collar.
Yeah. I think it should look, I think it should look as informal as possible. And I think it should look as, I just am putting this on.
Yeah, like it shouldn't always look perfect. You know what I mean?
No, Michael shouldn't care about how he looks.
Right.
He doesn't give a fuck about
he
how he
isn't doing
looks.
this. Hold on, let me take a selfie, make sure I look good.
Exactly. It should look as, God,
if I ever see that in a Halloween movie one day.
Yeah, no, it should just look like he took it and put it on. Maybe, and maybe it should change. Like maybe in one moment he's got, two up, and then he gets into a scuffle with something, and then he stands up and one is in and one's out. Or it should look very, just very unorganized, like he just doesn't give a fuck, because he shouldn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. He's not throwing on, the jumpsuit because of some sort of fashion statement. He put it on because he's, naked, and he needs, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think all the above, and to some degree. Let me see here. DreedMem77 sends in a very generous super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, DNT, watch Dave's vid on Mulan, and I agree with you how it can be a game changer. Do you think it'll do well enough that streaming releases will be more common? Hoping it flops, because I'd hate for theaters to be a thing of the past. Yeah, DreamMem77's talking about my McRae live show the other day, where Disney's going to be releasing Mulan on streaming for a price. I believe it's $29.99 US, I think is what it is.
I think they just announced that with Black Widow too, right?
I don't know. Did they? I'm not sure.
I thought I saw something that Black Widow's also going straight to VOD.
Maybe. I mean, the business model right now is not set up for it depends, because you can make a movie like Halloween's waiting for several reasons, and is because it's not guaranteed that theaters will, like, you have to understand that, as I mentioned on my show, theaters are not open all over the place. The two biggest markets in North America, Los Angeles and New York, are shut down. That's huge. Even when theaters Even when theaters begin to open up, they'll be opening up to limited capacity. So, let's say a theater holds 250 people. Well, now you're looking at about 125 people, but who's to say that 125 people are even going to show up? So you might have it open to 125 people, but only 30 people show up. You know what I mean? And yes, Halloween Kills may have cost, I don't know what the budget was for Halloween Kills, 30 million, maybe something like that, double that for marketing, and yeah, maybe you could make that back on streaming and then some. You don't have to make, $400 million, but because its predecessor made $250 million at the worldwide box office, becoming the highest grossing slasher of all time, the chances of Halloween Kills doing that or coming even close is highly unlikely. And so they want to set themselves up to, so there's a demand there. And they're kind of like, oh my God, we can, holy shit, like we want to give ourselves the best probability of making as much money as we can. And right now that's not on streaming. They'll be able to make their budget back and maybe break even and make a little bit of money. But right now it's not there. So, now
if they ever did go straight to like, streaming of something or whatever instead of the movie theater experience, their business model would have to change as far as production budget.
Well, 100. Well, that's just it. And here's the thing too, is that, if Mulan was going to be $1 billion movie at the box office, probably, right? Probably. By all measure, it was probably going to be at least $1 billion film.
Total
worldwide.
Take?
Right. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. So right now, if you're selling, so Disney Plus has about 60 million subscribers. You would have to sell, like if you sold 30 million people bought Mulan for $30, then that would get you close. But 30 million people all buy, it would have to be a perfect storm. You know, now the studios like that because then that all goes to them. That goes to Disney Plus. They don't have to pay a percentage to the theaters. You know, so you actually don't have to make as much to, you know, to break even or to, you know, what it's a whole thing that you know, but it's just what worries me is that right now at this present time, and that can change. The business model is not there for movies. For Hollywood to spend $250 million to make a movie and make $1.5 billion on streaming, it's just not there. It's not there right now. Not yet. So now you can release little films, but not major blockbusters. Blockbusters would have to change if that becomes a regular thing. And right now, Mulan is really interesting. It's the guinea pig because it's like, is it going to make this kind of money? Is it going to make $900 million on streaming? But then
if
you also
it
have
does,
to
then
right. Right. But then you have to factor in there's no sports right now. You know, there's no concerts. I mean, we're still in a lockdown for all intents and purposes. I know people are, you know, things are beginning to open up in phases, but like, would it make 900 million on streaming if the world was normal? Would that many people buy into it? You know, like, I mean, you know, we're all sort of still kind of.
There was no like COVID thing, because even if with, like you said, with restricted, whatever, if they're only going to put half a theater full, you know, of seats for people to go there, I still don't see, until there's a cure,
half of the people showing up.
Yeah, vaccine, whatever, until this COVID thing really has gotten a handle on it. I mean, I'm struggling now to just to do shoots with people because people are just so paranoid to get together, even with like 2 or 3 people in fear of catching this. So, I mean, like, I'm dealing with that and I'm going out and shooting horror photos for fun.
Yeah.
So just now, let's talk about, you really think people are going to be, you know, I mean, us Halloween fans are going to go see it. But even that, you know, like, if I feel like the theater's beginning to become too packed, I might even begin to feel reserved, you know, sitting in the theater because of fear of catching this thing. And I think that's going to be a carryover effect for a long time.
That's exactly my point. Just because you're allowing half of the capacity doesn't mean half the capacity is going to like that many people are going to show up. You know what I mean? And you know, it's going to be a very interesting experiment, and that's what it is. It's an experiment. But just because what's his name, Bob Chapek or whatever, the head of Disney now, I mean, he said, "Oh no, it's just, you know, it's a one-time thing." Listen, if Mulan actually makes $1 billion on streaming, which would be incredible, which would be unbelievable and catastrophic to the movie theater going industry. Now, that doesn't mean, as I said on my show, that doesn't mean that the very next day or the next week or next year, there's no more movie theaters. No.
When is he releasing Mulan?
Well, Mulan, when is Mulan being released? Soon.
Like, how soon?
How soon is soon? Very soon. What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
This month?
Chat room, when is it releasing? It might be this month or September. One of the two.
Because my question, okay, so let's just, whatever, August, September. If this thing makes bank, you don't think that would change Blumhouse's mind to go ahead and release Halloween Kills this year?
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying, that they think that there's going to be a reversal of it. And I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to want to preserve that IMAX experience. And but
like we just said, there's no guarantee next year people are going to still be comfortable to go see.
There is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. I will be surprised if I know people are still holding out hope, but I will be surprised because there's also no guarantee. There's a higher probability that they're going to make more money next year in the theater right now than they will this year in the theater.
Yeah.
You know, because people will still be afraid to go. You know what I mean? So again, it's all about, you know.
I think it's really just experimenting right now. I mean,
it is experimenting.
We're in like uncharted waters. No one really has a definitive answer. Like even Disney doesn't. And if it does well, maybe this does begin the next phase of where we go to with the movie go. Like, because I watched your video and the video the other day that you did, and I agreed with you because, you know, nowadays with, you know, 70-inch TV, surround sound, I mean, you can pretty much have a theater going experience in your fucking home. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily, but I get what, like, there is an experience when you go to the theater. You're in the theater, you're watching it, you're eating the popcorn, you're there with your
and nobody has a
date
65-foot screen at home, you know, and you know, it's
no,
like,
mine's like about a 55-inch, the biggest out there. This is only like 40 whatever, but my living room one's like 55.
Yeah, but at the theater it's 65 foot.
You
know what I mean? And
nobody's got that.
Exactly. And it, for me, and maybe it's, you know, I don't know, because I'm old and we're old, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, listen, I got a big screen, I got the seats, I got the surround sound, I got everything too, and it's great. But it doesn't compare to the movie theater experience. Now, there are some movies that, like, it's not black and white. There's variables. For me to want to, like, listen, watching Marriage Story, or, I don't know, The Shawshank Redemption, or, you know, or some sort of, you know, watching The Goonies or something. I mean, look, it can be fun to watch it in the theater, sure. But can you watch it at home on a big screen with surround sound and enjoy it? Sure, but there are some movies, listen, nobody wants to watch Infinity War, you know, for the very first time on their fucking phone. You know, it doesn't compare, you know, and for me, it's like, you know, the difference of seeing AC/DC on my screen or going to see them in fucking concert. Right. It just doesn't compare because it's designed for that. You know,
and even
there are some bands where it isn't designed, and some bands that are, you know, and I want to see Star Wars on the big screen. That's where I want to see it.
Well, I used to.
But anyway, to finish what I was saying is that yeah, it's a very interesting experiment. You know, in order for Mulan to have the same theatrical financial windfall on streaming that they would in the theaters, like more than half, like 40 million of the 60 million people that subscribe to Disney Plus would have to buy into it. That is highly unlikely. But you never know. And it'll be very interesting to see. And, you know, I mean, I think if you grew up in the digital age, you know, I think maybe you're more likely not to give a fuck because you grew up in internet and cell phones and home theaters and stuff. But I tell you, man, there's nothing like for me going to the movie theater and watching a great movie with popcorn in that environment with a bunch of people and on a 65-foot screen with epic speakers and surround sound that would literally knock your fucking house over. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just great. But it's a very interesting experiment that they are doing. Very interesting indeed.
Is Mulan the one? Or is this one Pocahontas?
It's the live action.
No, I know, but I'm trying to think of the song right now. I can't remember if it's Mulan or Pocahontas. That song where the chick's singing something like have you ever heard the wolf cry to a blue corn moon or some shit like that?
I don't know.
Is that Mulan or Pocahontas?
I'm not sure.
Like, I got the song stuck in my head right now.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it's Pocahontas or Mulan.
Chat room will let you know.
I'm not a Disney person, but like I just remember that song in the 90s, like hearing it on the radio like every day.
I got you. Listen, let's get through these super chats because I have to, I got to skedaddle. Scott Glenn says, in H Kills, it would be like the second time we see Michael escape from a fire. Do you think it will be like Halloween 5 where they show his every move? It could be. It all depends on, I just don't, if you, listen, I don't think
I'm
you need
curious
to show
to know
Michael
what this
escape.
mask is going to look like.
Yeah. I don't think you need to show Michael escape. They probably will. But it's all about, like, if it were up to me, I would just have him back. And it's like, how the fuck did he have the fire? And we don't know. That's likely not going to happen. You're likely going to see him take on some firefighters, tear some people up, and see him escape. Okay. And then you could say, well, Dave, would you be okay with that? And I would say, yes, I'd be okay with it. Again, keeping in mind the new era that I'm watching a modern day slasher. This is the new, it's not old school anymore. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Well, why would you be okay with that? You said you don't like seeing Michael's process. Well, because Michael's not vulnerable in that position. So it's not like the firefighters are beating the shit out of Michael Myers, right? And then he escapes, but he escapes on his hands and knees, and he crawls, out of the house and, crawls down the street. I don't want to see that. We should never see Michael Myers in a vulnerable situation. In Halloween 5, we see him crawling out of the mine shaft and then crawling into the river and floating down the river, help me, and then stumbling to the hermit's place. And we don't need to see that. We're seeing him vulnerable. We're seeing him... Yes, that's the boogeyman? I don't want to see that. We should never know. But if we are going to know, he should always be in control. He should be alpha. He should be the one that is taking shit on. So if he beats the shit out of, firefighters and we see him escape, well, okay, it feels more in line with his character then. So that's how I feel about it.
I kind of disagree with you, Dave. I think he should bust through the wall like the Kool-Aid guy.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
What was the commercial when we were growing up when he would bust through the wall? What would the Kool-Aid guy say?
What would he like? Oh,
he had
right, or something like that.
He had a slogan that he would always break through, and he would say something. But no, I agree with you. I do agree with you.
For sure. Frank Riker says, D&T, do you find that Michael's kills that are in the daytime are less gratifying than those at night? You mean Michael's kills like in any particular movie or just in general?
No, a kill is a kill as long as it's done effectively.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if there are any daytime kills that are effective. There's seeing the bodies, which is cool.
Bodies, right? Yeah.
But actually seeing Michael kill during the day,
you don't see him kill during the day in the original. You don't see him. Obviously, the 2 takes place the same night.
4, I know you see the dead bodies.
You see the dead bodies. You don't see him actually physically
5. Kill. Does he not kill the douches?
Well, it's in the back alleyway.
That's what it is.
So I guess it's during the day. Look, I know there's a couple kills in Friday the 13th during the day. Well, the first Friday the 13th, Annie, or I think her name's Annie.
That's right.
That's one of the first ones.
Yep.
Again, it's how it's presented in a movie. I mean, you can create a scary scene in the daytime. It's just how you present it. Yes, nighttime is obviously more effective.
Yeah.
But I think again, it just comes down to execution.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, the bathroom stall in the new movie.
Yep.
Right, that's right.
Kevin Dugan says they should just release the Halloween Kills movie to VOD. They're ending the series anyway with the next installment, so does it even matter if Kills does mediocre? The movie is intended for 2020. Yes, Kevin, this is business, man. Kevin.
Money.
Kevin, imagine if you had the opportunity to make $200 million. Would you be okay? Would you yourself go, well, who fucking cares if I just make 20 million? Now, I'm not saying Halloween Kills is just going to make 20 million. Obviously, it's going to make more than that. I'm going to the extreme to make a point. But of course it matters. This is show business, man. And let's not forget that the money that studios use to make movies, okay, is borrowed money. A lot of times people forget that there isn't a vault in the bottom of the studio where every time they want to go make a movie, they just open the vault and go, here's 20 million, here's 200 million, they borrow that money from banks. There is interest on that as well. So they have to pay the interest back on that as well. Do they care if it? Of course they do. Of course, because they want the money. They want the most money that they can possibly make. That's what they want. That's right. That's right. Show me the money. Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise. That's right. Jerry Maguire.
It's all about that money, baby.
But yes, Kevin, there's never a studio executive or an executive producer or anybody for that matter that would say, well, okay, all right, we'll just, of course, this is strategic. This isn't, they're not holding back because they could just release it. There's a, and I mean, it's hard to explain without going deep into it now. But let's just say that, yes, they care a great deal. And if there is even an iota of an opportunity to make a lot more than you would make if you just released it now, they're going to wait until the last possible chance where maybe they can't. And that's what it's about. Show business. Show business.
Yep, it's not about show friendship. It's show business.
Yep. Mendel Goodman says, do you think drive-in theaters should come back? Well, drive-in theaters they're still around, but I think he means like on a mass scale. I think that drive-in theaters, it all depends on what's going to happen when we come back to some sort of normalcy. If we can get back to where we were and the theaters are alive, well, the drive-in theater, I mean, they're only thriving right now because there are no other options. You know what I mean? And there's a bit of retro and people are, you know, oh, this is so cool. And maybe people are going to the drive-in for the first time. That's so cool. But I think if somebody had the choice to go to the drive-in or the movie theater where it's comfortable and you're not in your car for the whole thing, I think the movie theater is probably always going to win.
And you got to keep in mind, we've got this little thing in the later part of the year called winter that people are not going to want to be sitting in a drive-in during the winter.
That's true too, depending on where you are in the country.
Well,
or
even here in Georgia, man, it gets cold in the winter. I mean, we may not get snow, but we get cold.
Gets a little chilly.
Oh,
Gets a little chilly. Yep, for sure. Cobra Dojo says, favorite Cobra Kai, season 1 or 2? Oh, I haven't watched them since they came out. I'd say I liked both equally.
Yeah, I think both of them have done. It's funny. We were just talking about Karate Kid 3 the other day, you know, they've honored the obviously legacy of Karate Kid. Done a great job. Very much looking forward to season 3. Yeah, you've just not. I think they're both equal. You know, I mean, it's one
same.
where, like, here's an example. When you watch Stranger Things season 1. Great. Season 2,
right.
You know, it's good. It's not as good as 1, but it's good. Whereas Cobra Kai 1 and 2 are really fucking good. Let's hope 3, you know, just fucking continues to knock it out of the park, and I'm sure it will. Because these guys who have written the stories, the writers here, they've done an excellent job with the material and honoring.
I love it.
Yeah, and honoring the legacy of what was established with the original Karate Kid.
Yep, exactly.
That's my baby.
Scott Glenn says there's no, thanks for the super chat, says there's no Blumhouse Plus app for H Kills, laugh out loud. Well, it would probably be Universal because they're the distributor, but I don't know. I think Universal's working on something. I don't know if they do. Do they have something? I know Peacock's NBC. Oh, maybe it's Peacock, maybe. I know NBC, Universal are connected if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Howard D says, should bad movies be remade before good ones? Should bad movies be remade
before good ones?
Before good ones? Oh, I see what you're saying.
What you're saying. Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, that would be probably the smart, like, for example, I was watching The Dark Knight of Scarecrow. It's a good 80s, early 80s horror film. There's a lot of missed opportunities with that movie that I think, if done right, if you put in the right hands, you could remake that and make it even better today for the audience to enjoy. Tourist Trap's another one. Good cult classic film from the 70s, but you could remake that film today because it's not like a Halloween, it's not like Friday, it's not like Nightmare.
That's right.
If, again, in the right hands, you could take that movie and make it even better.
That's it. I
what's
agree
funny? I always forget in Tourist Trap that the dude who's in there who plays the main guy is the same dude in Old Yeller. I always forget that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He has a small part in Old Yeller. Yeah,
okay.
He is where he's actually Old Yeller's owner. He's Old Yeller's owner.
I haven't seen either movie in a while. So
and he gives it to the kid, you know, for the horny toad.
Okay.
We always used to laugh at that as a kid growing up. Horny toad.
Yeah, horny toad. Yeah.
Horny toad.
The things
you mean you want this horny toad for that Old Yeller dog?
Danielle Hyrel. Thank you, buddy. Says, Dave, I have a high-quality replica of original Lamson knife from 78 movie, ready to pass it on to a new person. Like to gift it to you if you're interested. Well, I have several high-quality replica original Lamson knives from the 78 movie, so I think you should give it to somebody who doesn't have one.
Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of them. Yeah,
but I appreciate the offer, man. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Super chat from Intel Wild says, I think he means you saying Dooley, Dave. I think he means you saying Dooley, Dave. I know I said Dooley. I meant Dewey earlier, is what I meant. Dewey. Intel Wild says, for Frank Riker. I love it. You guys are great. And Chris Baber sends a super chat, says, as if my weekend couldn't get any better, to the channel. Thank you so much, Chris. Yes. And of course, congratulations to Chris's daughter, Paige, there. You can see him or see her in his avatar. Chris's daughter, Paige, won an Emmy Award, a local Emmy Award, for a commercial that she was in. So congratulations to Paige. You are amazing. Way to go, Paige. Awesome stuff. She's cute as a button. Let me see here. Okay, listen, folks, that is going to do it for us. I got to go. This has been amazing. Thank you so much to my moderators. Tony Michael for doing his job tonight. He's always going in there and doing what he can do. Jason Knight, Darren Sands, Tabitha Short, and Frank Riker. You guys are amazing. Tony and I will be back next Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Family, baby.
We're going to be watching the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock a.m. for McRae Live. Thank you to all the super chats, of course. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel on that level. Tony, any last things you want to say?
No, great show tonight. Again, Anthony T, my bad, dude, for confusing you with somebody else. That was on me. So please make sure you continue to come back and send those super chats in, and you're good.
Awesome stuff. Let me see. It looks like somebody said I missed a super chat here.
We did?
Joe Mama just sends in a $1.99 says super chat, and Cobra Dojo says, "Do you guys think JJC was better than Warlock?" In terms of his movement and posture and what? Yes.
Oh, yes. I was like JJC better. I had to think about that for as far as movement and playing Michael.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was more in line with the original.
Warlock just looked like he just had a thing up his butt.
Yeah. Well, he was. James
Drew
Courtney.
Not in all scenes. There were some scenes he was good.
Yep, exactly. But James Drew Courtney had the character continuity.
Very fluid.
So.
Just very relaxed. That's how you got to be. If you watch Nick, man, when he's walking across the street, watch his arms. His arms are moving just like this. He's just relaxed. He's and I don't know why we got into this robot Michael Myers as the series.
Well, it was just Dick Warlock. Just nobody was thinking about this back then. Nobody was thinking about it.
That's true.
And Dick Warlock, nobody told him how to walk. So he was just okay. I'll just do this. That's what happened. It's crazy stuff.
Crazy
all right,
shit.
folks.
All right, guys.
We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Cheers. Oh, there we go.